And we are live. YouTube, what it do, YouTube? This your boy, Kind Buffalo, out here today, trying to have a little session going on. Let's drop a little knowledge. We got today we got on our panel, we have let's see who all do we have. We got the American one, we've got Justin, we have Canna, we've got Abolish Farm, and we got 710 Canucks today. So American one, man, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing, KB?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing real good, man. So what you got going on over there?
We got a little bit of everything. Um, Smoking on some. Actually, I'm smoking on 9 Pound Hammer by Chernobyl, which was a freebie seed. If you went and visited Jinx Proof's booth at the Emerald Cup and said "Be positive," he gave you a free 5-pack. And I grew those out, and I'm smoking some flower right now in my bubbler.
What seeds did he give you again?
It was 9 Pound Hammer by Chernobyl.
I like that 9 Pound Hammer. I never had Chernobyl, but I heard it was pretty good, and so I can only imagine what you got over there.
It's very nice, very nice.
I bet it is, man. Bet it is. All right, we're gonna move on down to Justin. How you doing today, Justin? What you got going on over there, brother?
Hey, just hanging out. Been working in the garden all afternoon. I'm trying to keep up with this jungle I got going on. I got shit flopping over everywhere. I've been tying up everything, scrogging, doing all kinds of cleaning up underneath, trying to keep the airflow going. It's kind of moist here, so it's making me a little nervous. Just keep watching for that mildew. Otherwise, just hanging out, smoking a little.
Yeah, that's kind of, I'm glad you brought that up. People think that mildew, you probably would get that in the, like the spring, late spring, early summer with the humidity. But man, they forget about that fall when you're in the greenhouse.
Yeah, around here it's like they call October Croptober in Oregon, and it's when everybody is harvesting. They're either outdoor or their greenhouses, and it gets real sticky and real nasty if you don't keep a lot of fans going, preferably heat, but there's no way I can heat my greenhouse right now. It's all wide open underneath, so it'd be pointless, So I'm just crossing my fingers, holding in there, watching everything, keeping everything dry underneath.
All right, man. Well, we sending good vibes your way, man. We always do, brother. Sending good vibes your way.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and then let's see who else we got. Let's see. Abolish. My man, Abolish Farms. How you doing today, brother?
Having a pretty eventful day here in the garden. I've got so much stuff going on. Like I'm trying to update Instagram, but I've done like 3 updates. I got 3 more to do to keep everyone on track. I've had a little bit of tragedy. I lost my first plant in probably, I don't know, a couple of years. I was doing a 1-gallon experiment of my 818 headband, and that one ended up just getting a little too waterlogged. Root zone was cold, and I don't have no time to play Dr. Mario or nothing, so I Spartan kicked it. I got the plant count nowadays. I don't need to doctor stuff up.
I know that's right. That's good, man. Well, thanks for being on the show today. And then my man 710 Canuck. What's up, brother? How you doing today?
Hey, man. How's it going, KB?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm just chilling here. Actually, smoking on some of your boy Northside Doja's that Plushberry by Alien Rift.
Oh yeah, I got beans of that, man. I can't wait to pop those. How's that smoke?
Found a couple really nice phenos in there, and got a couple keepers, so I'm pretty happy. It's delicious. But yeah, week 6 veg in there. Got a couple of those phenos going. I got the Congo going, the elusive Congo, and we're rocking and rolling.
Hell yeah, man! You got your hands full over there, man.
You know it.
All right. And last but definitely not least, the one that holds me all together, Canna. How you doing tonight?
Hey, KB. Happy to be here as always. Got a great crew on the panel tonight. So excited to talk about our favorite subject ever. Yeah, so a couple projects I got going on are I'm working with some AFGUI 93 that Justin Goodearth gave me. Holla. And yeah, just pumping out some seeds, doing what I do.
Yep, sorry about that. I was sitting here having my mic muted. I was sitting here giving out wrenches. All right, yeah. Well, Canna, you be doing it. You be doing the damn thing. I'll give you that, Canna. You be doing it, girl.
Can't stop, won't stop, KB. That's the only thing.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And it's I'm glad 710, he kind of kicked the show off a little bit. So everybody that's seen the IG post or read the description on the YouTube channel, tonight's topic is pheno hunting. We're going to talk about breeder standpoints, and then we're going to talk about a grower standpoints because we're all, if you think about it, anybody that grows these days is a pheno hunter because you're not if you find let's say you pop 10 beans, and out of 10, let's say you get six females, or at the worst, say you get three. But either way it goes, the best one out of that is the one you're probably going to keep around. I guess some people like myself, if I pack as much as I pop, I might keep two or three keepers, just depending on the taste and the quality. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about pheno hunting. So let's start off with the American one. Let's start off with you, brother. I know you dabble in the world of breeding, and so let's start off with you and explain to us your idea of pheno hunting.
All right. Well, there's a lot involved, I'd say, and it all depends on what your goal is and what your starting material is, as far as I'm concerned. Because let's say you get a bag, like let's say you're old school, your father got a bag of weed and you pulled the seeds out of it. That's going to contain diverse genetics. That's just going to be all over the place. So if you want to find, and some of it will be really good and some of it will be really bad. So that you'd have to you would want anyway to do a lot of a sample of a lot so that you could find something that's special. Now, most of the breeders that you could purchase seeds from, someone along the line did that for you already and chose, or if they didn't do that already, like you were saying, everybody's really a pheno hunter. So your whole life of growing, if you had a whole life of growing, you find special females that you keep, and pretty much if you find a special female that you keep forever, that's going to be something special, and most likely they have half of your half of your cross, or like I'm saying, depending on your goals and what you want to do. So it varies, but your starting material dictates how many you want to try and shit like that, I think, anyway. And if you have seeds from a breeder that you trust and you know that they pretty much know what they're doing, you could trust theirs and start less and still find something really good. I mean, I have found insane, and I start 10 seeds and every single female is better. You just don't know which one to keep, So there is if you have random bag seed, you're going to have to start a shitload of seeds to find something really, really good. But as you get narrowed down, I think you could use less and less. So that's where my starting is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So let me ask you this: in a breeder standpoint, so really your environment, me popping as many beans as I do, I notice in my environment not being as controlled as most growers' gardens are controlled. Does your environment play a big part in your pheno hunting because of the different diversities in the plants and how they prosper?
Yeah, I would say that's a major attribute, because for some people they'll only have that one environment that they could check, that they could use to gauge how good their stuff is or how good their choices are going to be in the pheno hunt. And so that's part of it, though, because if you're going to grow in your backyard or in your grow room, you want plants that will do good in your backyard or in your grow room, you know, so that kind of adds to it. But I also have found that just recently, too, that a couple plants that I started, I really liked the taste of it, and it really wasn't a big yielder, but I liked it so much that I ran it again. And the second time actually was like so much more production. Like, I don't know if it was because it was from a seed and then a cut or whatever the case was, but you know, it changes too. So to really find, that's why I think that, and I like the fact that if you constantly growing and smoking your own stuff, you find females that are really special and you keep those, and that's how you could start. You know, that's where you start, or that's where I like to start a lot of times. And yeah, so that's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if breeders, how tight they control their environments when especially during their breeding process. So I can only imagine that that's even that you're probably more stringent on
Oh yeah, when you're
on
actually
how you keep
making,
it.
when you're actually producing seeds, you want it to be as tight as possible. But like to find find a pheno that you want to use to breed with, it's kind of like the beginning strain should be pretty good to, it should work everywhere, because if you're going to try eventually sow these seeds, it has to work wherever you get it. Even if a rookie comes across them, they should be able to produce something good, I think.
I think you're absolutely right, too. Like, it's all about, well, actually, I think you've even stated before that if you're working with good genetics, then they've already done the hard part for you, the pheno hunting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, though, they prefer to do it themselves because the pheno that maybe we're looking for, the breeder wasn't even considering it. So it's actually all preference. It's all about, like, yes, it's technical. It can be super technical, but when you're pheno hunting, it's more about the feel, the touch, the smell, the taste, than numbers, I feel like.
Yeah, personal choice, what you like personally, has a lot to do with it, for sure.
True that, true that. Hey, and I want to welcome my man Gunner from Canada Genetics. I want to welcome him to the panel. Gunner, man, he's a really good dude, man. And anybody out there that's in the chat right now, if you had a chance to grow any of Gunner's genetics, I'm pretty sure you were not upset. I'm pretty sure you were very pleased because I know I've grown a couple of his strains and I damn sure was very pleased with it. So Gunner, man, how you doing tonight, brother?
All right, all right. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. I'm just glad you was able to answer the call, brother. To be honest with you.
Oh yeah, man. You actually caught me at a perfect time. I just so happened to be free.
That's good, bro. So as you can see, we got a couple breeders on the panel, and they were talking about how their process is. Let's just jump right into it, man. You on the hot seat, bro. Let's explain to us just a little bit about your process without giving us a secret sauce, man.
My process is pretty much just selection. Things that I feel that are, how can I say, are in at the moment or something that I really enjoy. I try to continue that trait consistently throughout the genetics. For instance, I never really liked tall, lanky plants. And so the majority of my work, I've been trying to, produce plants that are tighter node spacing and, I wouldn't say shorter, but more lateral branching. So, that's just, one of the things that I look for when I, go to breed something. Sometimes you just can't help it. You know, I've had, several projects where I was like, oh yeah, it's going to be, nice and short, compact, nice thick buds. And it just so happened to be, very stretchy, good yield, but, you know, you have to play with the genetics. You're not going to just get something that, you know, you wanted out of your first try. You got to play with it. You know, it takes time, definitely.
Okay, so yeah, so that brings up a question that I have for that. When so it's very possible that even so, okay, so like, you know, when you're doing a strain like your Gorilla Smash, and I seen Baby J doing some new testers, and man, some of them the new testers that she's running, bro, ooh wee, that shit's gonna be, I can't wait to see finish that out. But I've grown a couple of strains, and I noticed that that your selection is just like you said it was. It's the plants that I've grown, they weren't short. I would say they were medium, not really tall, but medium, but very vigorous, very vigorous. The branching was it didn't stretch, you know, like as far as like stretch like way out where major cat, where you'd have to, where the overall girth of your plant was like almost out of control, where you had to cut some down just to, you know, keep it in shape. I did notice that the nose spacing was tight, just like you said. So even though that's the selection that you choose, when someone buys a pack of your beans and then they run a pheno, it's very well possible, because like you said, it's a preference thing. It's very well possible they could come up with a whole different expression that could be, I don't want to use the word better than what you did, but it could be, you know, in what's the word? Because it's not like it's better, because it's still like the same genetics, but you understand what I'm saying? It could be a little bit more.
I definitely understand. And yeah, I mean, that's the greatest thing about popping seeds is you're never going to find exactly what the next person has. I don't care how worked the line is. You'll never find exactly what the next person has unless you have a clone of it, period.
True. So
that's the beauty of popping seeds. So if someone just so happens to, you know, buy a 10-pack or buy a 100-pack or whatever pack you decided to pop, and you said, oh, I really like, you know, number 5 or 100, you know, that's their preference. You know what I'm saying? They could think that it's better. It could be damn well better than anything I've ever found out of my whole lineage. And, you know, they have that right to say, you know, oh, this is the better pheno.
Right. That's what I was getting to. You hit it right on the head. That's what I was getting to. So just like oh shoot, I had a little brain fart there for a minute, but just like the American was saying, he was basically saying pretty much the same thing. So we were talking about this earlier before we started the show up, Gunner, and we were discussing unwritten rules in pheno hunting, especially for breeders. Give me your opinion and how you feel about the amount of beans it takes that you feel, you know, in your opinion, that it takes to actually find the perfect male, or nothing's perfect, but you know what I mean, the right male and the right female. Because I'm curious how you feel about it.
In the beginning of everything, you know, I was just like everyone else. Oh, it takes years to do this, blase, blase, blah. You need to do it this exact way, that exact way. But being in this business and being open-minded and seeing everyone else, it really just depends on how you want to run things on your end. Now, how much work you put into these genetics definitely makes a difference. But when it comes down to it, no one will know until your finished product. Now, if everybody's growing shit that's from you and it just so happens to be herming, you're doing something wrong. If someone's growing your stuff, or they're trying to grow your stuff, and none of your shit pops, you're doing something wrong. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is the only way to breed. You need to cull 1,000 males and 1,000 females to find the one you want. It doesn't work like that. You find something that you want to play with. Say we're gonna take it out of Canna Genetics. Say I popped a bean, I popped a pack of Blue Power from Sin City Seeds. I pop a bean. Out of 10 beans, I seen a male that I really like and a female that I really like. They both have the characteristics. I grow them out as clones. They grow perfectly. Everything I've ever wanted. Did that take me 10 years? Did that take me 1 year? No.
Nah, I didn't. Nah, right.
I made a selection based off of what I feel is a good characteristic to pass on.
Right, because it's preference. It's basically your
All
preference.
based on preference.
Yep.
And my thing, another thing that I had to grow out of is when you're breeding, especially for like as a company and you're giving it to the community and things like that, you don't want to necessarily go in thinking, oh, I'm only going to breed things that I like. That's being closed-minded. And I had to learn that the hard way. You know what I'm saying? At first, when I first started this, I wanted to do pure indicas, straight up, nothing but indicas. You know, but I had to sit back and think like, okay, not everybody likes it. Not everybody enjoys it the way I enjoy it. Some people can't even smoke indicas.
Yeah, I know some people that just after just one time they're like, nah, this ain't for me. They're more sativa smokers. They won't even smoke an indica.
Exactly. And I was also closed-minded to say, oh, I will never use a CBD. It's not worth it to me. But you have to kind of think like, okay, hold on. Take a step back. Why are you doing this? Because of the medicine. It's considered a medicine because it helps other people. Why wouldn't I create something like that to help other people?
Exactly. And not only that, you figure
Like,
not only does it help
I
other people.
enjoy THC over anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I have to sit back and think like, okay, I'm not doing this just for me anymore.
Well, yeah, and not only does it's good medicine, but there are a lot of people that, like you said, that need that medicine and that CBD, that want more of a CBD variety. And then there's people that look up to your genetics, and they're like, I like his genetics, and he's a good breeder. He has good stock. The ratio, the male to female ratio is right. Everything is always right with this man's genetics. But man, I wish he would have a CBD strain or something crossed with a CBD strain.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, you just gotta be open-minded. You know
Go ahead,
what I mean?
American.
When it comes.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on something that he had said that you're doing something wrong if all your beads that you're passing out have herms or don't pop. And part of breeding, and maybe this is like the most important thing to me is, I want shit, right? I wanted this so bad to have this one female that I was growing up, wanted to cut it, cross it, but it had herms, and man, that's it. If there's herms,
any of that, it kind of
throw that shit right out. I threw out all its relatives, I threw out its sisters, its brothers. Yeah, because there's no herms, bro. I don't know if I'll tell you a short story quick. The very first harvest I ever did I didn't know better. It was in solo cups, all the way plants, harvest to maturity in solo cups. The kid didn't. I was a kid. The second one, there was a hermaphrodite. I didn't even know what the fuck hermaphrodite was. My whole entire room was seeded. So like right from the get-go, I fucking have a despise for hermaphrodites, totally. And yeah, that's part of my total thing is if there's hermaphroditic quality anywhere on the shit, I throw it right the fuck out. Oh, sorry for cursing.
It's all good, man. No, I understand, but yeah,
I didn't
really
catch the beginning, but from the gist of what I got, I mean, I definitely agree with you that herm shit doesn't fly with me, and that's exactly why I don't deal or even entertain the fact of popping feminized seeds. I mean, it is my opinion, and I just feel like feminized seeds are like a shortcut. If you will, you know what I mean? I feel like it's a shortcut to glory type deal.
And yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest. If we're gonna, point fingers and say what's the right and wrong way to do it, I think that's one of the ways to be like to frown upon.
Right, I think you're right, and
to take some hard-earned work that they did and try to replicate that and sell it as fem seeds, it's horrible.
Yeah, because what's the process? I mean, basically colloidal silver or something like that in order to get the.
Have you ever heard the saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a couple ways now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, what, I'm not gonna knock him. I do understand what you're saying, and you know, I get it, and I'm not. But me, I've grown a couple films, and I've had some great, you know, great work out of them. But then I've also grown a couple films where they were just trash. You know what I mean? But my thing, but what I definitely agree with you about. You know, you guys, Canada, American One, yourself, you guys put all that work in and then coming out with this, and then someone S1s it, make it into a female. I could totally understand how, you know, that, you know, that's like, you know, damn, you just took all my hard work and just, you know, just in 30 seconds, just come up with just this, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, which is not 30 seconds, but you get the gist. But definitely, I definitely could understand what you're saying about that. And then that actually is also an unnatural process, and you know, by
That
doing
and
it,
like you didn't even have the decency to be like, you know, at least come to the man and be like, hey, let's do a collab.
Yeah.
You know, genetics and you know, sell it under the same name.
Right. What were you saying, Canna?
I was just gonna touch on that. I was gonna say hi to Canna because I haven't said hello yet. Hi, Canna. I'm Canna. No. I was just gonna say, yeah, if someone sells my work and that's all they ever do with it, that is totally ripping it off. But if they were selfing it in order to, you know, continue the line, and I mean, I would be more than what's the word I'm looking for? I would be happy that they chose my strain to continue on. So, but yeah, if they just self it and then that's all they ever do with it, then yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, that's horrible. I mean, I've had several people do that to me. As soon as I dropped the Gorilla Smash, it was like 12 of the people trying to make Gorilla Smash at once. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. One part of me was pissed off because, one, they're trying to take food out of my kid's mouth. Two, it took me a minute to accomplish what I accomplished with Gorilla Smash. And three, it was like you didn't even have the common decency to like say something to me. You know what I mean? Like you could have easily come to me and been like, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do, whether you agree with it or not. At least give me that type of fucking respect. You know what I mean? Sorry for cursing again.
Hey, I'm a sailor, bro. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. And I know some people will probably have different opinions about it, but you know, respect is respect, man. No matter how you look at it, respect is respect.
Yeah, respect, comments, or courtesy. It's very big.
It doesn't matter whether or not, you know, you say no or not, because, you know, especially if that person bought that, it doesn't matter if you say no or not. But like you said, Gunner, that common decency just to say, hey man, I liked you. You don't even have to say I liked your line. Just say, hey, you know, I want to give you, you know, a heads up of what I got planned with these beans that I just popped because I found a killer pheno out of it that I really like, or, you know, just a common courtesy just to say, you know, just give you that. I totally agree with that. Totally, definitely agree with that.
Right. And like if someone purchases your stuff, that's a whole nother story. I'm talking about people that have won giveaways, but you know, we're not going to get into that. But yeah, like you said, if you purchase something, that's yours to do with however you choose to do it. Only thing I can say is thank you for, you know, your support and believing in my genetics. That's all I could say.
Yeah, because you ain't lying, because obviously they did something with it. They believed in it. So you definitely ain't lying about that.
You know what I'm saying? Like they you know, they took the time to spend their money. They saw something that they really liked and they decided that they wanted to, you know, do something with it. That is fine. That is fine.
All right, so let's move on to, like, you know, we talked about how breeders, how you guys, you know, do your searches and what you do. Let's talk about and I haven't looked in the chat. I'm trying to get my laptop set up so I can look in the chat. So I don't know if anybody's asked any questions or not. But let's move on to, like, let's just say you as a grower, Gunner. You just let's say it's for you. You're just you growing, just for you. What in a strain or what in a pheno is it that you like? What do you with? Let's say, for instance, you buy a pack of Ninja. Let's say you buy a pack of one of his strains, and you decided you're just gonna run 20 beans. You know, you're looking for that one, not to breed, but just that one for yourself that you want to keep, maybe two. What do you look at? What do you look for? Does it change from your opinion from when you're breeding to when you're just growing for yourself?
Well, what I'm off top, like, especially knowing the breeder, I'm going to look for certain things. I mean, let me go back. Okay, if we're just thinking about me personally, what I'm looking forward to growing and actually smoking is something that's easy to grow, that's vigorous enough to keep up with my perpetual, and something that's heavy hitting, something that is very strong and like, very, what do they call it, recreational. Something very stony, put you away sleepy. To the north, for someone for me, that actually keeps me up and doing things. That's the crazy part about it. Like, if I don't smoke, I'll be the laziest motherfucker that you've ever seen. But when I smoke, I'm like, go, 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 go. I got 2 kids. I manage a couple businesses. I grow my own gardens. I grow other people's gardens. I'm constantly moving. But if I don't smoke, good luck getting me out of bed.
Right. Yeah. So let's see who else I got. Let's see. I'm sitting here trying to look at the chat at the same time. So Justin, just give us an idea, like something that you're looking for when you're growing.
I was actually just about to say to Canada Genetics, I kind of look for the opposite in my cannabis anyway. I don't look for the shit that's gonna knock me out. I don't like the couch lock shit. I kind of lean toward the high energy sativas and shit, but that's just me. I'm a sleep fighter, I don't like to sleep. I think it's a waste of time. So I don't want anything that's going to put me on the couch. But when I'm looking for phenos, again, I'm not, I'm not a breeder, so I'm not growing thousands of beans. I'm growing like 10, 20 at a time of a strain. So I'm not in depth into pheno hunting, but what I'm looking for typically is first effect and then terpenes, because I'm a stink snob. I like the taste. I like the smell. And I'll throw something away if it just has a bad stem rub. Honestly, I know everybody says no plant left behind, but I ain't got time for some dull ass fucking plant.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. See, I'm the opposite. I hate throwing shit away, man. I'm gonna always find some type of use for it.
Man. I don't want to, but when you're growing, when you got so much work ahead of you. I grow by myself. I don't have any help.
Right.
Murderers.
I really don't. I got my wife. She waters during the day, but that's the extent that she will go to. So I'm by myself. So if I can't, I'm keeping somewhere around 100 plants going, 108 plants going at one time. They're not all flowering at the same time or whatever, but that's enough work for me because I have a day job. I get the evenings and early in the morning to work on my shit. So it's not about I'm not a real picky pheno hunter.
Right.
I look for effect and then terpenes, and then I look for yield and vigor. Sometimes vigor before yield, because I'd rather have a easier plant to grow that does pretty good than I would have a plant that kicks out a whole lot of shit, but I got to maintain the fuck out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
true that.
I'm kind of looking for, like I say, effect, terpenes, and then easier.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Like we said in the beginning, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Like we said in the beginning, it's all a preference. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like the American one said. It's about what's your goal, what you're trying to do. As a commercial farmer, I'd probably be a lot more leaning toward terpenes probably, and yield, and fucking plant size and structure.
Definitely.
I'm not a commercial grower, so I'm not doing all that.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely. So my man 710, when you're growing and you're picking out, because I've been checking your garden out, brother, and that garden looks real good. So when you find something that you want to keep, what is it that trips your trigger, man, when you find something you want to keep?
Well, oh man, when I'm growing, it's gotta have the medicinal effect first. It's gotta be good for pain. That's number one. If it's a little bit yet less yield, I'll deal with it as long as it's good meds. But yeah, yield and hardiness is number two. Structure, and then I like to train the shit out of my plants. So if they can take a lot of punishment and a lot of tying down, then they usually stick around. But yeah, that's about it for me. I mean,
definitely got to have that spread. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, especially for those of us that are like in tight quarters. Definitely got to have that spread.
yeah,
Definitely agree. But it's always best when, you have those, some plants, you don't have to touch them and they just bush out and do their own thing. I love those plants.
Yeah, you had one that I tested for you, that X23. I don't know how much topping or how much tying down Scrog have to do, but I barely had to do anything with that as far as to get it to branch out and give me what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? It was like I was like, wow, I think I only topped it like maybe 3 times, but still I had, I don't know, maybe 12, 15 tops. You know what I'm saying? Just from it doing its own thing, its own branching out, So that was one of your strains that definitely will do it on its own.
Yeah.
that sounds like it's right up my alley. That's
That
what I'm looking
X23,
for.
I think you'll like that X23. I did. I liked it. I liked the X23.
No, Colin, but we're about to drop the clone only for that.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are about to. That's right.
We're going to release the seeds. We're going to just do a clone only.
That's right. So let's go to Canna, because I know you might have to cut out on it. So let's go ahead, Canna. When you're growing, not the breeding aspect, but when you're doing for yourself, what is it that you look for?
My preference is, internodal spacing, stem rub, definitely the nose on it. I love a more indica dominant strain, so the fat leaves, they appease to me. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm on a different level. Like, I'm sure everybody, but I'm more intuitive when I'm growing. It's not more about the specifics. It's more about like what the plant is telling me. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like I just can pick them. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy, because a friend of mine, haven't heard from in a while, but that was one of the first things he taught me when I first started was listen to your plants. Pay attention to your plants. They will tell you what it is that you want to know. You know what I'm saying? Not just only in pheno hunting, but I need more CalMag, I need more magnesium, I need more, everything. Just read your plant. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. Totally get it.
Yeah,
Totally
I honestly feel like to accurately judge a pheno, you'd have to run it a couple times. I mean, because it is definitely, dependent on your environment too, but like vigor, like, yield, terpene production and stuff like that. Yeah, it all factors in. So I think to get an accurate result, you'd have to run at least more than one time, so you'd have something to compare it to.
Most definitely, because I love the Dionysus from PH Nerd. That's this Bewitch F2. I love that one, and I've grown it. This would be the 4th cycle, and I can tell you this: every time, I still get the same terpene profile, but I get and this is from clone, because it's the same one that I like that I've been keeping, but every time it's better. The taste is better. It's a strong. I don't know. I mean, it could be my environment. It could be something that I'm doing. I'm thinking that I'm doing the same thing, but this time it was I just can't express how much I enjoyed it the 4th time that I ran it. I'm not going to run it anymore. I'm going to switch over to Spartan Kush and run that for a few times. I just got a pack of that in, so I'm going to run the Spartan Kush from Nerd. But yeah, I totally get it. Totally get that taste. Abolish, what you got over there, brother? What when you're growing, man? What do you look for?
Pretty much one thing, and that's the patient effect. Like if a couple of my patients come back and say it did this, and this for them, or like it helped their back pain, or it helped them sleep that night, or something really specific, that's what makes me want to keep it. Because myself, I pretty much like any kind of cannabis I grow. So I'm not too picky. It's pretty much all about the patience for me.
All right, okay. And I think my last one is you, the American one. I didn't ask you this question. So on a personal level, your pheno hunting, what is it? Is your preference pretty much the same as when you're breeding, or is it different?
It's pretty much the same as when I'm breeding because yeah, I want to make something that I would love eventually, you know, and I like vigorous ones. I like them all. Don't get me wrong, I like them all. If there's something that's good, I'll keep it. But I have this one plant. It roots without asking questions. I could put it in flower when it's a midget. By the time it comes out, it has buds all over it, and it grows quick. So that's always beautiful, you know. And I like unique ones. Like I have that actually that one has a smell that like I can't even explain it because it doesn't smell like anything else in the fucking world. So I like unique shit too. So
Yeah, that's you pretty much almost said me. Um, Me personally, I like when I'm pheno hunting, and everybody knows I'm a like I said before in our last
bean
episode,
hoarder. Yep.
I'm a bean whore, man. I'm a seed whore. But when I'm growing, I haven't had it. I want to do a monocrop. If not a monocrop, I like to do maybe just 2-3 strains, and that's it instead of 8 like I've always doing. But what I'm looking for the first thing, which you won't know until after you smoked it, though, is the medicinal, because I have people counting on certain types of medicine for the certain type of ailments that they have. So I'm definitely looking for something that's a medicinal. Then I got my heads, that's out there, and all you hear them say, man, I need that loud, I need that loud. So they have no freaking idea what the plant can do for them. They just want the loud shit. So you always got to keep a certain stash for them knuckleheads. But for me personally, man, it's gotta have. I love the smell. It's got to be a strong, pungent smell. That Dionysus is a strong pineapple cheesecake pungent smell. That my cut is. Other people say they've been getting a little bit like a citrus or something like that. Mine has been pineapple cheesecake. That's the only thing that comes to mind, and it's very pungent, which I really like. Also, I like. Right now I'm a little bit out of my realm because I don't know if you guys seen a couple of pictures I post on Instagram. A lot of my plants are real vertical right now. I'm usually more of a bushy, short, medium height, bushy plant. I got some in there that's just vertical. That banana punch, that some bitch is just vertical. Uh, my Gorilla Glue, she will bush out on you, but the way I'm growing her this time is she is shooting straight up. I can't wait till she finish out. My Cookie Glue, same way, straight is, I'm doing a lot more vertical, which is, it's a learning lesson for me because you have to, when you grow vertical, and you guys can chime in if on what you think. But to me, I think when you grow vertical, it's a little bit more work when you grow vertical, because if you're doing it somewhat right, man, I have to tie my buds up all the time because they are super heavy and they just droop and hang everywhere. So I have to wind up tying them up. I don't know if you guys run into the same problems as I do, but that's usually
KB, I've been doing that for a couple weeks now. I've been trying to scrog my shit all up and tying it to the ceiling. I'm growing in that greenhouse, man. I got 3-foot colas in there. They're huge and they're just flopping over. And I'm not getting paid or anything, but the mammoth pea flop is real. It works. That shit gets fat and just really pulls on the weight, and it'll just dong over and it'll break your shit if you don't tie it up,
Oh yeah, that's what I'm running into now, where I had to, not this one because everything seems to be going better now. Gunner's the one that got me to do scrogging. He was the one, because before Gunner, I never scrogged. And when I was running testing for him, he was like, man, you ought to try that scrogging out. So I tried it and I loved it. I didn't do it this time because now that I got this perpetual thing going, I haven't figured out how to work in. That's a lot of, once it's hard, you're trying to stick some more in, and I was like, man, screw all that shit. I'd rather just get some yo-yos and tie these damn things up. But Yeah, but Gunner got me into scrogging, which I do like scrogging, but I think I'm going to use a scrog by my style of grow, by the way I'm growing. I think I probably only would use it if I'm flowering in my 4x4 or 3x3. That 4x8, I'm rotating stuff in. I mean, it's always running. You know, I don't have like a real reset like some people have when they're pheno hunting. They'll grow and then they're finished. They cut down, they clean the tents. I do clean my tents, but you know what I'm saying though. Then they put all new, you know, like new plants in, and they all are finished around the same time. Me, since I'm growing so many different strains, nah, it's more like I might pull out 6 this time, and I'm putting 6 in to replace those, and then I got a week or 2 later, I got another 3 coming out. You know what I'm saying? Because they're all not the same photo period. But now that's a pain. That's a pain. But one day I'll do the monocrop. One day I'll get into it.
Yeah, that's always a pain, especially when you're going with some sativas and then indicas, and you got the 14 weekers on one side and 8 weekers on the other.
Yeah, yeah. And then I got that haze, man. I got that super lemon haze crossing the orange sour dub, and I know that's going to go 12 weeks. I know it is. I think he crossed it with the orange sour dub to try to cut down the photo period time. Right. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if it does.
But variety is what makes it all good, though, right?
Oh yeah, man.
That's why I can't do it. I can't do a monocrop, Absolutely. Man. It kills me. I got to get one going one day, though.
Gunner's another person that don't do monocrop too much. Gunner always got tons of strains in this shit. I always look him up.
I can't. That's the crazy part. I can't. I literally can't. Just for the simple fact that, you know, if I want to continue to, you know, find new things, I can't be closed-minded and just grow one thing. Especially since I chose to breed. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. I have to have the next thing.
I can totally understand that, man, because I
have other places that I definitely do monocrops, and boy, I mean, the difference is night and day, especially when you're talking about harvest.
Yeah, the money.
It's night and day. But I mean, you know, it's different strokes for different folks. You know, certain people, I mean, you know, different people are comfortable at certain levels. Some people, you know, can't clone, or, you know, this, that, or the third, and they have to, you know, have that type of perpetual to where they can only harvest, you know, 2-3 plants at a time, and then, you know, immediately put something in the same environment, you know, without being able to do a full reset. And, you know, that's understandable because, you know, different situations for different people. Different people have, you know, different space capabilities and things like that. So.
True that. So let me ask you guys a question since we're talking about pheno honey. Any of you guys, first of all, are any of you guys into purple strains? And I got a train going by my house. Figures. I ain't heard a train all day. I decided to do the show, and guess what? I got a train.
I really don't care what color the strain is. It could be purple, it could be yellow, it could be red, just as long as it's good. I mean, it's all hype other than that. It just makes it look pretty.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, you know, a lot of better with a little bit of purple in it. You know, it looks more exotic, as people like to say.
That's why I'm asking, because I'll be honest with you, most purple strains that I've smoked, other than the Berry Storm by Bay Bridge Genetics, I can tell you that right now. That some bitch is a heavy hitter. But other than his, there hasn't been too many purple strains that I pheno hunted that really, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grow that again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you gotta try that fucking Mayhem Bear, bro. Turns
you know I want to try the Mayhem Bear. I've been meaning to get a pack of that for a minute, man.
Sounds like a lot of breeding bag appeal.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I come across one of them pink ones, like it's like really pink, I would consider saving that on the side, you know. Other than that, though,
I've got to be honest. I've had the pink from Exotic Mike, and although the bud was really pink,
right,
strain was horrible. Like,
okay, yeah. Well, if it's shit, it can't hang out. Yeah, if it's no good.
I mean, I'll give it to it. It was unique because I've never tasted anything that ever tastes like that in my life, but it was horrible. on another level horrible. Like, is this even weed?
Like it tastes like fish or what? What it tastes like?
No, like nothing that you can like pinpoint. You know what I mean? Nothing that you've ever really experienced. I promise.
Just gross.
That I've never disliked something that bad. And let me tell you, I come from the era where we were smoking stress, so
Yeah.
I already know what bad weed is.
I know what bad weed is too, yo.
Started from the bottom, now we're hit.
Yeah, purple from a nice shade. I mean, I've had that. That always tastes good, but just a straight up purple strain, they've always like tasted real harsh to me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was harsh. Well, you're right. Abolish.
Yeah,
That's absolutely right.
You get the ones that fade when only turn purple when it's cold. It's different, you know. I think.
Yeah, now that you're right. That brings up a good point. That's
You
different.
guys also feel like the naturally purple ones have less THC content?
I think if it's not, it's definitely less potency. I think the ones that are naturally purple, I usually have less potency of it. You know, in my own tasting of it. It's just been, I'm pretty sure there's one out there that probably knocked my socks off, but I just haven't come across it yet.
Yeah, I had a Bay 11. It was called from the guy
Bay
who
11.
The guy who made Granddaddy Purps. He made a strain called Bay 11, which purpled out.
I was just about to mention Granddaddy Purps too.
Yeah, that was good actually.
That's the best tasting.
Everybody fell in love with that from day one because of the super grapey taste, and the high was great.
See, there you go. That's one. Yep.
I got Candyland going right now. I don't think I've ever tasted Candyland, but I got going right now. Anybody ever grown that one? And how do you think it is?
I popped a few beans myself back in the day. I've actually had a couple crosses with it too that's just been sitting. But I mean, I've run into some dank Phenos.
I'm hoping that these that I got come out pretty good. I got 3 left, I believe, and I'm hoping they come out pretty good. I know I got a female in one. I think I'm gonna wait about 2 more weeks and I'm gonna flip her. I'm gonna see how bushy I can get her because she's got hella tops right now. So yeah, but let's see what else we were gonna discuss about pheno hunting. We've already talked about you guys' process that you do. Let's see. Like everybody agreed, medicinal effects is definitely a plus for most people. Let me see, Gunnar. I was going to ask you a question about because I know. Okay. So out of your new projects, you don't have to name them because I know some people are growing them, so you don't have to name them. But out of your new projects that you got out right now for your testers, what are you looking for as a breeder out of those that you got out right now? What are you looking for?
This a question for me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like I said, you don't have to mention what it is because I know there's people out there that's growing them and still in the testing phase. But what are you looking for out of the new batches that you just had your testers
run? I'm just looking for improvement in structure, potency, and ease of growth. Really, that's what I'm looking for in those specific ones that are out now.
Yeah, because you got some. There's some. I've seen the one that Baby J's going, and that one is just, oh my God, man! That looks like that's going to be a very nice one right there. The one that she, and I forget the name of it. What she said.
Okay, the one she has is my Creamsicle OG crossed to Yoda OG, right? Yoda is a very weak strain as far as I'm not saying potency wise, but as far as the growth and the ease of growth, it's really hard to grow because it gets sick very easily, prone to powdery mildew and things like that. The branching is very thin. It's not you want thick stalk on the true Yoda OG. And so what I wanted to do is bring the yield up and also make it easier to grow. So when I crossed it with my Creamsicle OG, which is a very strong plant, and the stack on it is A1. A1. No matter what you hit it with, it's gonna stack. So when you look at her plants and you see, damn, you might say, oh damn, those are big ass plants. The Yoda couldn't even get that big. Have you ever grown something that like the leaves are very small, like the stems are very thin and brittle, and you know you really couldn't do nothing with, like you barely move it and you'll snap a branch.
Yeah, man,
Like,
that shirt breath from Thug Pug. And I'm not saying all of them was, but the 2 phenos that I had, yeah, dude, it was. I got to definitely do a pheno hunt on that because it's definitely what you just explained.
So now if you look at Baby J shit, it's night and day. Every one of those plants look like some shit out of the jungle. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, like, and that's from seed, not even a clone. So those are kind of the, you know, improvements I look for in, you know, specific genetics that I'm working with, at least.
So what was it? So what is it about the Yoda that you do like? Because you wouldn't have crossed it if it wasn't nothing that you like about the Yoda.
Taste. I mean, the overall wow factor when it's in a bag, it's amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. Won, I don't know, countless cups back in the day when I first started. I actually knew Master Yoda back in the day. I was introduced to him from Stone Ninja, and he used to come by the Green Dragon. It was a dispensary that I was running back in the day, and we used to chop it up, and you know, I was good friends with him. Man, I love the strain. That and the Paris OG, it was just fire. They always consistently brought me fire. So, I mean, I had to play with that. I've been wanting to play with the Yoda OG for a while.
All right, yeah, because I never grew the Yoda. Matter of fact, I just recently heard of the Yoda, and then when I heard about it, a lot of people were like, "What? You never heard?" And it just, you know, like I said, I haven't been in the game that long, but what I did hear about it, pretty much like you said, just the taste and everything. But yeah, so crossing that to your creamsicle OG, yeah, I can see how I can see what you were looking for, and if you get what you're looking for, man, that's going to be awesome right there. That is going to be an awesome one right there.
Man, thanks, man. I mean, you know, not everything works out as planned. Sometimes, you know, it takes a little bit extra work and extra time. But, you know, I've been really blessed with my selections and how I go about doing things. You know, I've been very successful in doing so. So, you know, and if I can give advice to anyone out there, you know, trying to do this, you know, honestly, you know, just keep doing it the way you're doing it. But at the same time, don't be so closed-minded that you can't learn new things.
True that. That's some good advice right there. That's some good advice right there. So I'm looking in this chat and I see we have 51 watching and I got 29 thumbs. It would be great if I could have 51 thumbs. It would be definitely great if I can get that. What I wanted to, as we continue to talk about pheno hunting, we'll probably bounce around on another couple something else, depending on what I choose. But what I wanted to bring up real quick, though, is that for all you that are watching, I would greatly appreciate it if you shared this show, liked this show, but also this channel will not be Trichome Chaser TV after tonight. This channel will be Buffalo After Dark after tonight. So the next show, you can leave your notifications on for this because I'm pretty sure it'll still pop up when we do a show. But just know if you see Buffalo After Dark, that's the old Trichome Chaser TV channel. So I just want to let everybody know that. Now I don't watch train of thought again.
I had a question for a question for the analysts and especially the breeders. Like I say, I'm not a breeder, but I've been really starting to get interested in the old, you know, trying to go back and find the original shit to get away from some of the overcross trains and everything. Is anybody else working on that? Like old Landraces, trying to find some beans that nobody's got, you know, other country.
Definitely. I mean, but that's another way to, also come up with the same old terp profile that's been already circulated over and over and over and over again. It's like for instance, have you guys all smoked like a true green crack?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Have you smoked papaya?
Yeah. Yeah, 710 and I both are growing it.
Have you smoked papaya?
I've been growing it.
Papaya? Did I? I think I did. Yeah, we did, right? That was that live resin, I mean. Yeah, I tried that.
Taste any similarity?
I mean, there's that fruitiness to it a bit, but I wouldn't say it's dead on.
It's almost like, how do I put my finger on it? It's not fruity. It's more of I don't know. Probably almost like it's more of a funk, but more of a almost sourish, close to like almost G13 XJ13 type smell.
It's more like a musk.
Yeah, almost close to a Jack, but not that. Oh yeah, that's Jack. You know what I mean? Like anyone smells a Jack, you're gonna know. Oh yeah, that smells exactly like Jack. And even those turfs are getting played out because they're like spread out so wide. It's crazy.
But that could be how you're growing it and your region and everything. That makes a difference. Out here, green crack is fruity, man.
Yeah,
my green crack is super fruity.
Yeah, it could be totally different strains too. The way people mislabel shit, across the land. Yeah.
That's my biggest in the world. Not labeling and mislabeling. Oh my god.
Or lying, outright lying.
Sativa and indica in Michigan.
And you know what? I was going to point out, most of the strains that we partake of today stem from like 4 or 5 different fucking strains from back in the day that everybody's been crisscrossing. But yeah, I've been trying to pull out, and I know people who have been trying to find beans that no one else has been popping and hasn't been circulated in the Americas. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need, something different. I hate the same old, unless it's pizza. I could eat pizza every day.
Hey, Teo, I hate to be that guy, but you need to talk closer to your phone, man, or your mic or whatever.
Oh, sorry. Usually
I can barely hear you, bro.
Usually I'm way too fucking loud. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, when we're looking at terpenes and like scent and stuff, we're looking at like that small selection of genetics that's currently available, right? That those 4 or 5 plants that got crossed and came up with all this other stuff. But you look at that and you start smelling all these new smells, like the garlic. I never smelled garlic 5 years ago. I didn't even know garlic was possible coming from cannabis. But I mean, it's from what Kevin Jodry was saying. I watched one of his videos recently. He was talking about how there's precursor terpenes that then turn into other terpenes, and the way they work together, because they're all hydrocarbons, right? They're all volatiles. The way they work together can completely change the smell of the plant. So, I mean, green crack, it could be completely the same thing, but just the phenotypic expressions that we're getting growing in different climates and different situations, they bring out this weirdness.
Right, no doubt. Yep.
I see exactly what you're saying, especially in the cure and the dry. It all depends on the care that they took for the plant and the environment. Of course, I definitely agree with that.
You know what I always find amazing is like some plants I'll harvest, or when they're growing, they smell one way, and as they're drying, they smell another way, and then like when it's cured, it smells another way. It's like changes throughout the whole process.
Exactly, and that's those monoterpenes burning off really quickly, and then you got the sesquiterpenes, which are sticking around, and they all like blend together, and it's like cooking, right? It's chemistry.
Right.
One other thing I learned: don't fall in love with I fell in love with this trying to make this strain, and it just was like a wasted year of my life, and I just wanted it so bad. I kept trying to make it happen, and just yeah, it didn't work. So know when to say when, and just fucking throw that shit out, start over, and find something new to work with. You know what I mean?
Sorry about that. I was sitting there messing around the chat. Hey, so that brings something I want to bring up. When we talked about it a little bit, but we didn't touch on it real. Environment with, like I was explaining to you guys, with my environment, it's a little bit different than everybody else's. Until I can actually get a controlled, a sealed off room. But when I'm looking for certain strains that I want to keep around, or pheno that I want to keep around out of a strain that I pop, definitely has to fit my environment. It has to be, like you guys were saying, I really don't have the time to like really play around and try to get something and adapt to it for too long a period of time. It has to really adapt. And if it adapts to my environment, I feel it adapt to everybody's environment, because my environment can be all over the place sometimes. But definitely environment. And what I noticed with the phenos that I was running that I decided to keep, this summer was a lot. I don't know about for you guys, but for me, it was a lot more humid and hot than it was last year in my environment. So I got I want to say a totally different expression, but I did get a different expression from some of the ones that I were getting when my environment was a lot cooler. Have you guys ran into that?
KB, I had this plant, and it was awesome and everything. And I had the CO2. I had I added CO2, and the thing just stretched out. When I added that CO2, it went from being like awesome to being the thing. It was ridiculous how much it stretched, but it was because I added the CO2 a lot at the wrong time, pretty much. But yeah, it could change. Plant could change total looks. It's bizarre how different it could look.
Absolutely. All of my my winter crops are generally much better than my summer crops. There's more carbon dioxide in the air in the winter. It's a lot easier to run any air conditioning if you have to run any air conditioning at all. And yeah, temperatures are easy set. Humidity is easily set. You just gotta fight against the cold air stealing the humidity. So you're adding it instead of taking it away.
Yep, 2 months out of the year, every year during the summer. I don't know. I should just do my pheno hunt, my seed popping in the summer, because my crops the rest of the year are amazing. But
yeah,
I always want to try and push it, and then I just don't have the trichomes that I normally do, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a huge thing for me this year. Oh my goodness, my trichome production. Now, my wheat, it still had a kick. It still had its potency, but I could tell you this: my potency was a little bit less, and my trichome production was shitty, man, shitty. Until I finally said, "Fuck it," and put the air conditioner, which has a dehumidifier on it. Until I put that in it, man, because it was just.
Yep.
I could definitely tell the difference. Definitely.
Yeah, and I mean, environment is so key. Like, yeah, phenotypic plasticity is absolutely real, people. The environment can completely change every expression, all the genes expressing. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
That's why I always say, if you like something and it's not like performing your way, you should run it twice. I like to run everything twice. Yeah, because it might be messed up the first time, or something could have been off. And a lot of times the second time is better. Sometimes from clone, they're more compact and stuff too. So that changes too from seed to clone.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
There's so
right.
many variables. It's
I think one MD said IMD1 says it's called VPD. I really don't follow the VPD chart. I know some people that do, but I really don't follow the VPD chart. I think when I did try to follow the VPD chart, I had more of a. I will tell you this. Didn't say it to all you new growers out there. Play with the VPD chart. Don't just go head into it. I mean, you know, some people they just gotta go. They gotta run before they walk. That VPD chart is some serious shit. If you try the VPD chart and you get it wrong, your garden is gonna be trash. Trash. You can tear your whole garden up if you don't do your VPD right.
I don't understand how they could follow a VPD chart and get it wrong.
Well, it's not following it and getting it wrong. It's not being able to get the VPD chart right. You know what I mean?
Maintaining.
Maintaining it. I mean, you can follow it, but
Right.
if you don't, because you know, Gunner, if you don't keep that VPD chart, if you're doing a VPD and you don't keep it at what it suggested should be, your garden's going to pay for it.
Definitely.
So it's not so much it's not following, it's to get it right. You know what I'm saying?
That goes the same for not following it. No. You know what I mean? Like, you could still be entering the danger zone not following it at all. You could be riding that line this whole time and not even knowing it.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And it's always good. I mean,
I mean, like for instance, like right now, I can tell you that.
You know, you can. I mean, it's always good to hone down your environment, especially growing this plant where environment is, would you say, at least 30% of growth?
Yeah, what in this, like I wish I could find that VPD chart real quick and post it up. But it's like right now, I'm pretty sure I could go down and my temp is going to be 80 and my humidity is going to be down to 63. Now, most people will tell you that 20 degrees difference in your humidity and your temp is not a good look. But you can look at the plants to see that I'm not having any negative effect on them. You know what I mean? So I think the VPD chart is a lot tighter than that. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, back to what you just said. I mean, you feel like, it's not. Maybe that's just something that you're used to. You see your plants every day, and they're always like that. Maybe you just feel like there's nothing wrong. But trust me when I say that, your plants could be reacting better than what they're probably reacting now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's always a possibility. It's always that they could be, if I tighten that down, that it could definitely improve my plants. You're right. You're right about that. You're definitely right about that.
The VPD chart up.
So to play devil's advocate here, what's everybody's thoughts on like climate-based rooms? Setting your room up as the climate of that specific cultivar would want. Because that's definitely not VPD. That's nowhere near VPD.
You need to know what that cultivar likes, and the way they're bred nowadays, there's 500 different ones in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Candace got a VPD chart up right now. She's got one up. I got her on the screen. But yeah, but I definitely understand what you're saying, Gunnar. It could definitely improve my garden. It could definitely make it better if I was to tighten that down. I could understand that.
I mean, even if you can keep your temperatures in check, say, for instance, you never want your room to go over 75, and a good way to start is, to keep your room at, maybe 55% humidity. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. You know what I mean?
So you say 55 or 65?
55.
55. So is that what most of you guys grow your humidity at, 55? Usually in flower, I usually keep mine around 65. 60, between 60 and 65.
I mean, if you have the control to do it, I would prefer to be around 65, definitely.
Yeah, 65 and about 83 86, depending.
So you say, but you don't think 55 would hurt it too much if it was at 55?
No.
I was gonna say I keep
think-
mine around 55, 60. It fluctuates a little bit, but yeah, it's just definitely a sweet spot.
What
The
did you
temperature
notice?
between
What have you
79 and
noticed?
82.
What have you noticed your difference at 55 if you had your humidity at a higher? I mean, if you grew it at, if you were growing and your humidity was higher, but now you're at 55, what difference have you noticed?
Oh, a huge difference. If I didn't have the dehumidifier, I wouldn't be able to grow. But yeah, and actually I have a flood and, well, it's somewhat of a flood and drain irrigation table, and the dehumidifier actually really helps with the water absorption and then the excess. So I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, and you're in a pretty moist climate, Canada. I'm surprised your humidity's not higher. You must definitely have some good dehus.
Yeah, I praise it and stroke it every day and pat it on the back, and I have to empty it twice. That's how bad it is. Twice a day I have to empty it. But she works real hard and she keeps my shit dialed in. So yeah, it's a lifesaver.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And definitely, I'm definitely gonna give it a shot, Gunner. I'm gonna give it a try and see what I can do with it, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, everybody's been growing, but have you guys noticed that when you're strict on, the temperature and the humidity, and you let the whole cycle go exactly how you want it, it never fluctuates or anything, have you noticed a big difference in your end product? No matter what it is, whether it was 75 or you like to go up to, 87, 88.
Yeah, just ask Trichome KB when he turned on the AC, it makes a world of difference.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, cooler
Even-
temps,
yep.
cooler temps, tighter humidity, bro, man. Yeah, definitely a big difference.
It's just all about not making them work harder. You know what I mean? So they can put all their effort into, making those beautiful flowers.
Well, think about it this way. I mean, plants are the expressions like we talked about the difference, and I forget the wording that Canuck used, 7 Tenant used about the Pheno. But just think about it. In the wintertime, when it's colder, not necessarily wintertime, but when it's colder, we throw on extra layers of clothing, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it, and I could be wrong. I'm not a botanist. I don't know. But the way I'm looking at it is, what I've noticed is that when my temperatures are cooler and my humidity is a lot lower, my trichome production is heavy. I mean, super heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, crazy heavy. I mean, that's why I started it, because I started in the wintertime. So that's why I picked the name of Frost Den, because I was so amazed and shocked of my trichome production that I had in my flower tent. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, and trichomes, as I'm sure everybody knows, that's a protective measure. It's there to hold moisture, hold air closer to the leaf, and that's insulation.
That's what we're farming. If you look at the nitty gritty of it, that's what we want out of the plant, out of anything. So, why not do something to enhance, not necessarily enhance it, but to protect them and make sure that they grow, to full maturity and good health. See, because when you have an environment that's constantly switching, that's like waking up every day in a different environment. Like you're going to sleep in a desert. You know what I mean? You never know what it's going to be the next day, whether it's going to be cold or hot. And you constantly have to adapt. That in turn is going to, by my brain, what I'm thinking is going to automatically, cause the plant to grow differently, or at least slower. You know what I mean? The overall production of the plant or the product is going to be a little bit dampened compared to what it would be if it was in a sound environment that was balanced correctly and strict. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most definitely, Gunner. I totally understand what you're saying. Most definitely. Go ahead, Ken. I'm sorry, what you said?
I was just agreeing with Kenna that he was absolutely right, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, have you ever grown a strain out and the yield just wasn't there? You're like, what the hell happened? And then you try to grow it again, and then all of a sudden it's like night and day. Like the buds are completely different than the first time you grew it. Like,
Yep, actually, that
sure,
just
like,
happened.
you notice that, popping seeds as well. When you pop a seed and you grow it, that's not the end all, be all look that it's going to have. Once you cut that clone, I promise you, it will never look exactly the same as when it came out as a seed.
Yeah, I know. People stress so much that, oh, if you get a clone, it's the exact same genetics, exact same, which that's true. But even though it is the same,
it is true. Yeah.
Yes, but it could be more lanky or have more lateral branching, or you know what I mean. Like it's not exactly the same, even though it's the exact same genetics. It came from a different part of the plant and it became a whole new plant from that piece. So
Yeah, I mean, it technically still has. Let's bring it to this time. The same fingerprint.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
But it's going to express itself slightly different than when it was grown from seed. And that's why I tell a lot of my testers, don't just grow it in seed and then give me the results and that be all. No, I need you to grow it in seed. I need you to grow it as a clone. You like it, cut it again and grow it again. Tell me how it came out that time. That's how you do a full test in my books.
yeah. I actually have a perfect example. I had a Blue God strain from Jordan Islands, and out of the I only popped 4 beans. But anyway, out of the 4 beans that I popped, I found a variegated Pheno. And so I was just like, she's too interesting to, it was just a couple branches, but the leaves were like, it was incredible. I was just like so shocked. So I did a little research and I found out that obviously it's more dominant towards the DJ short blueberry side of the genetics. And so I was like, let me mess around, so I cloned the very most variegated branch, and now I have an entire variegated Blue God plant, and it is awesome. It is so cool to just see that pan out like that.
That is so dope.
Yeah, they can change a lot because I have a cut that's about 6 years old, and I can go back to the guy that popped the original seed and smoke his, and when look at his, the structure, the taste, everything, it's completely different compared to mine. Mine's been on quite the journey.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like having genetics, pass through different people's hands. There's a lot of human error that happens. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about earlier, the mislabeling and not labeling. Man, that is my biggest pet peeve if I have one in this industry, because it's like, how do I breed with something if I don't know what the fuck it is? You know what I mean? Like, I snap. I literally snap. If I mislabel something or I just so happen to forget to put a label in it and I forget what that plant is, I will throw the plant away. That's how serious it is for me. Like, I can't stand it. Don't give me, if I'm asking for, Diablo OG, don't give me Blue Dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it just kills me. Maybe it's just me,
Nah. It's not just you, bro. I totally get it, man. I totally understand. I agree with you 100%. I'm doing some administrative duties as well, bro. You know how it is sometimes, man. But yeah, definitely, dude. If I'm asking for that, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Don't just give me what you want me to have, or don't tell me this is this, and then it ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, I hit the wrong one. See, this administrative duty shit gets out of hand sometimes.
Well, hopefully with companies like Phylos Bioscience and stuff like that, it won't be an issue in the future. People have like little barcodes that you'll be able to scan, and it'll tell you that that's legit. But yeah.
There we go. There we go. I figured it out now. But yeah, definitely. But it was like who? Oh, I'm glad you guys brought up because we're done with pheno hunting now. Now I want to get into some goody good shit. So yeah, not that pheno hunting wasn't good. Don't get me wrong, but shit. No, I forgot. I almost forgot what I was talking about. That's what some of the biggest. I've been, you know me. Everybody here is basically on IG, and even though I don't really comment on a lot of shit or I really don't pay, I still read a lot of shit that people be posting, and that seems to be one of the things that's real big in our industry right now of people saying that this is what it is, but then they don't get what they said that they were supposed. You know what I'm saying? And that shit would piss me off, man. All high heaven if I found out later on that especially if I paid $200 for some shit and that ain't it. I'm gonna be pissed, dude. I might even knock at your door. So I totally get it, Gunner. Totally get it, man. Especially for like breeders, man. And you got a project that you want to do, and you got, yeah, dude. I could totally understand that, man. That would fucking suck.
Yeah, that's like, oh, I'm looking for a wedding cake to breed with this such and such, and you want to hand me some bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit, it just doesn't sit right with me. But I mean, it could be different for different people. Some people just don't care as long as it's fire, they want it. You know what I mean? Or some people have a standpoint of it's just a name. But
Yeah,
I mean,
those are people that don't. That was like I was saying earlier. Most of those people are the type of people that are just want the loud. They don't even, you know what I'm saying? They don't really get. They don't know. They're
that's
not. What's
for
the word I'm looking for? They're not
almost.
connoisseurs of what we. They're not like connoisseurs like us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They just want the loudest, funkiest shit, man. They don't. And the part that really gets under my skin, dude, I will give something to somebody because it got the smell, but I know damn well this shit ain't gonna hit too hard. But I ain't saying shit because that's what you wanted. And then you hear them say, "Oh man, this is fire," and you know in the back of your mind that shit ain't fire. You know what I'm saying, dude? I just gave you some trash.
Some people don't know fire.
Yeah, yeah. He said it. He hit that right in the head.
What's that?
Different strokes for different folks too.
Yeah,
that's true too, man.
But I say some people don't know fire.
Smoking longer than I've been alive. You know what I'm saying? And he smoked my shit, and for some reason he act like he ain't never smoked in his life.
No.
And he is done. I literally have to force my uncle, like, Uncle, no, you hitting this again. Hit it again, man. Like, he's stressing. Like, this is, man, I ain't even putting nothing in it. This ain't even the power right now. Like, come on. Like,
I know that's right, man.
You know what though? Whenever I get a new strain, or if there's one that's been sitting in the veg room really long time, but like when you get something new, it always hits you harder the first couple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how about, I've been hearing bad things about that banana punch that's been floating around that has no kick. There is no punch in the purple punch either.
Okay, I will tell you this: the purple punch, no, I did. It's not. It's in my opinion, and I've smoked the Alpha Cut and I've smoked the 2.0. Neither one is high in potency, in my opinion. The banana punch, on the other hand, the shit I smoked, the Loki, I smoked Loki shit. That shit got a kick.
Okay.
Now I don't know if it's the grower or if it's a strain, but that shit he got, yeah, it's some good shit. That was some good shit. And that was the reason why I got that cut from him and I wanted it in mine because that was some good shit.
All right. So did you grow it out?
It's in the flower tin right now. I'm in week 3. I'm in week 3 right now.
There you go. Good.
But I can tell you, I've heard the same thing about Ninja Fruit. Yeah. Some people have said that the Ninja Fruit it's not really high in potency. It's a good smooth smoke. It's got great terps, but it's really not high in potency. I've heard that as well.
Let me tell you, ever since
I don't know if it's true or not.
Started seeing all the Ninja Fruit hype and shit, I was like, man, I kept seeing that Bewitched. I'm like, people should probably be buying that Bewitched plant. That shit looks better all along.
Hey, let me tell you something about that.
Got the hype,
Oh yeah, let me tell you something about that. Nerd did his thing. Both of them are great breeders in their own rights. I like Ninja shit. Like I said, it didn't really, for me, I didn't really get a a strong kick from it, but the terp profile was amazing. But that Nerds Dionysus and his bee witches, oh my goodness, dude! Now you talk about and it's a nice yielder. It yields nice, and it's got a kick to it. Definitely got a kick to it.
I didn't grow any of that stuff, but when I seen the Bewitched, it looked way better. And like I heard a couple stories that people were like, "Yeah, it's way better." I don't know why the hype's on the Ninja Fruit because the Bewitched is where it was at. So.
Yeah, I like ninja. Yeah, Mr. Sparks said it right there. He said he thinks ninja stuff is more medical and medicinal, and he's true because I did feel a lot in my body than I did, but and you know, as far as a high THC from it, but I like the smoke. I'm growing ninja fruit right now, you know, because I like the smoke. It was a very smooth, very terpy, good smoke. You know what I'm saying? So what I usually do is if I'm rolling, if I put it in a blunt, I usually put it in with something else that's got like a bigger kick. But that terpene profile from ninja fruit, it overtakes just about anything I mix it with. But definitely.
Yeah, one of the things that for breeding purposes, some of my Pheno shit, I like the one plant I chose because it didn't have much flavor at all, and I wanted to use the male that I was going to hit it with to import the flavor on it, and it pretty much worked. So, you know, so that's like, yeah, there's so many variables and stuff, but like I'm saying, like the stuff that you want, I put the stuff that I don't want first on the list, and then go from there. You know.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Let me see here. I got to do some more administrative duties. Give me a sec. All right, but yeah, let's see what else. There was another strain. Oh, has any of you guys ever heard of natural born killers? That's the strain. This strain called natural NBK. Yeah, natural born killers. I think it is.
I've never had experience with that one.
Yeah, I got a cross of that going right now, and I was kind of curious about it. Let's see. What do we got here? Who else? He's not. So Mr. Sparks is like, I got a question. Do we have anybody quality? We might not. Let's see if we can answer your question for you. I don't think we have our lighting guy on right now, but I know 710's a little. He's a little knowledgeable into that situation. Let's see. Somebody said. I'm trying to find. Let's see. It was Quality Matters. He asked a question about lighting.
Yeah, he said he had UV bulbs, 5 26-watt UV bulbs, and 2 200-watt LEDs. I think that's what he said. And he wants to know when he should inject a UV light and how long he should leave it on for.
Right, that's what he's. Can anybody answer that question for him?
I wish I knew more. Perhaps 710 could, but I do know for a fact UV light will increase cannabinoid profiles for sure.
But you can also fry your plants with it, so know what you're doing.
Yeah, you can fry your own skin. I heard a story where the guy put a UV bulb above the guy's fucking in the light above the guy at his office at his desk, and the guy got cancer from it.
Jeez.
Oh shit!
Yeah, UVB is not something to mess with.
Yes,
that stuff breaks down cells.
So quality,
But,
maybe. Yeah, if that answers your question, Quality, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, it doesn't look like we're all in favor of using too much of the UVB light.
Yeah, UVB. I mean, UVA is a little safer, but you wanna protect your eyes for sure.
Well, the one that they say you want it to go off when you walk into the room and go. If you want to have it on all the time, and some of it's too strong to leave on all the time, even for your plants.
Yep.
So it depends on what light he's got and what it's supposed to. Because like the reptile lights, you could probably leave those on constantly, you know, if you're not in there, you know. But I don't know. So
I think he gets the gist of it.
From what I understand, I mean, I'm not a professional with the lighting and stuff here, so I'm kind of just talking off the cuff. But from what I understand, you want it for the trichome production, right? So Probably the last 2/3 to third of the run. Probably out of that. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's all you need it for.
Yeah, Travis says he uses a 10K bulb for last 2 weeks in flower. He said he's heard with the UVB like an hour a day is what he's heard. I don't know if I would even try it, to be honest with you. I mean, something like that, man, I think that's something that me personally, I probably just stay away from that. I mean, it looks like you really have to know what you're doing to mess with that type of stuff.
Yeah, as long as you don't get exposed skin to it, I mean, you're pretty safe. But don't get exposed skin to it because it's not good for you.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't do. I think I'll just stick to my regular lighting. I seen MegGrower1 on Instagram. He was talking. Go ahead, Justin.
I was gonna say I don't need that shit in my grow room. Like I'm saying,
I see MegGrower1 posted a video.
I'll have that shit in my
MegGrower1 posted a video up on Instagram where he was going over what he was running right now with his Primal Punch and a couple other strains, and he was talking about his grower choice lights. He had a light with a UV, and I don't know if it was UVB or UVR, but either way, it burnt the shit out of his plants. So he had to go back switch to a different light bulb.
Oh man!
And it was from a UV light.
Just for instance, in one of my classes, we used UVB to mutate the genome of yeast cells, and then used chemicals to find out what we mutated in their genetics. It's real stuff, guys. Be careful.
Yeah, I'll just stay with the simple stuff.
All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's definitely a pleasure. Love to come back on if you guys ever need me.
Oh, for sure, man. I thank you for being able to come on at the last minute, man. I really appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
It
no.
was nice to meet you, and thanks for nerding out with us for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'll try to subscribe to all of you guys. It was definitely nice to meet a lot of you guys, and I look forward to talking it up with you guys in the future.
Oh, before you go, Gunner, I gotta challenge you, bro. I gotta challenge you, man. I'm throwing it out there on live TV, bro. I gotta challenge you.
Okay, you better come correct if you challenge me.
Yeah, man. You gotta. Hey, our next solo cup grow off, man. You gotta be in it, bro. Come on, man. It's only 4 beans, bro, and you only keep one, man. One of them's got to be. Come on. Well, not the next one, but at least one of the ones we have, man.
How soon are you doing this? Because I just popped a hell of a lot of beans.
Oh, no, bro. It'll be a minute, man. It'll probably be after the first of the year or one of those.
Okay, I'm down. I'll definitely be popping.
Cool. Because I'm coming. I'm challenging you. I'm going to challenge Nerd. I'm going to challenge Ninja. I'm challenging all y'all big boys, man.
I'm with it.
All right, man. Sounds good. Hey, thanks for being on the show, man. Really appreciate you, brother. Have a good one.
Thank you guys for having me. Peace out, guys.
Yo, peace out,
Peace out, man. Good to meet you, man.
Yeah, subscribe. I'll try to. Do you guys have Instagram?
Yeah,
sure all of them guys on Instagram.
Yeah,
that's
I got
all
IG.
I got.
I'm gonna put my Instagram in the chat so you guys can so we can connect and stuff.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, you guys.
I'd put mine in there, but I don't have a wrench.
No, I'll put it in the Hangouts.
Right on.
I got it.
All right, much love, guys.
Peace.
Peace, Canna. Elder Canna.
Yeah, that was good to have him on, man. He was able to jump on. I really appreciate him doing that, man. That was great.
Hell yeah, I appreciate the knowledge, man.
Oh yeah, he's very. Let me tell you something. Gunner's very knowledgeable about what he does. He's one of the probably. I would say he's probably one of the few knowledgeable guys that I know that especially when it comes to breeding and his selection that he's been doing lately on his beans that he's been on his projects he's been doing has been, oh my God, I can't wait to see what comes out of what he's working with right now, man. I can't wait. I don't think Vision would care too much because since he doesn't like hybrids, but nah, he's got some really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. Gunner's a real deal when it comes to that stuff right there. Well, we've talked about pheno hunting. We've talked about a few other things. If anybody in the chat has any questions, because I really appreciate all 55 of you guys watching right now, hanging around, talking, and hanging out with us. Anybody has any questions for the panel or anything like that, shoot them. And shout out to Canna Mafia for holding down the chat and putting all the links up, man. Really appreciate you, girl.
Yeah, of course. It was a great show, and I loved hearing Canuck nerd out on his mad scientist, his knowledge.
Yeah, real shit. That was good stuff.
Hopefully, I didn't go too deep.
Oh, I only got 2 thumbs down. I feel really. Hey, I don't feel appreciated. I only got 2 thumbs down.
Now that could
You're not pushing hard enough if you only got 2 thumbs.
Right. Oh, there we go. Did I just get the third one? No, still 2. There we
PB, go to those other 5 accounts and give that thumbs down.
Right. PB, yeah. It was probably PB who did it the last time.
Yeah, hey PB, I can't see shit that you're posting in chat, man. You blocked me on Google, dickhead.
He said earlier that he was trying to talk to you on that account too, man.
I can't see shit.
What a punk.
Okay, so
I don't
it
even know
looks
why.
like Quality wants to know, has any of you, the breeders that we have on the panel, he wants to know, have any of you guys worked with any chocolate strains? Not chocolate, worked with, what's this? Cocosine? Never heard of that word. You're going to make me Google it, right?
Yeah, I can't even pronounce it. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, you're going to make me Google it. Coach, what the hell? Hold on, man. Now you about to make me do some work.
I know what that is. That's, they were fucking with that shit to try and mutate the fucking, and it works. It makes all the shit mutated, but they usually doesn't come up with anything good. But yeah, it's like it's a hormone, I think, or I think it's a hormone of some sort. And yeah, you soak the seeds in it or near it, and it mutates the fucking genetics, and it makes mutants. You grow out mutants. Yeah.
Nah, bro, we don't mess with no shit like that, man.
But you know what? It might be natural even. It might be, I think it's from some sort of, I don't know.
I know a lot of inbred lines that I do. They have a lot of mutations, but I always root for the mutant. I don't know. I always like the unique ones.
sounds interesting.
They use it to treat gout. How good is that towards the plant? I Googled it, and it says, what does it says? It says anti-inflammatory. It can treat and prevent gout attacks. It can also treat familial Mediterranean fever. So what does it do for a plant? Right. Sparkslot just posted that he just put that in the chat. Oh, well, you spelled that wrong, bro. You didn't put the A the first time. Now you put the A. All right, let me Google that part. Come on, man. You don't put me on the spot with the spelling.
Yeah, I see now that they're claiming you soak it in there and you get feminized seeds from it. But yeah, I think I don't know. It's just a mutating thing. I guess if you do it very slightly, it might have some sort of non.
Yeah, I can't find it the way he just typed it in. He typed the COAL. I can't find it like that. But anyways, yeah, man, I don't think any of us mess with that stuff, bro. Anything that causes a mutation, I don't think I want to smoke it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I want to smoke it. Hey, Travis says it's going to make your weed better for your gout. Wicked Joe says that's not the way Jesus wanted it.
That's how they make the fem seeds. When they make the fem seeds, you can't smoke the material that they put that silver colloidal shit on there. You know?
Oh, most definitely.
It's the same thing. Yeah, you don't. I don't want to fuck with fem seeds. Well, it's kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know, brother. I don't know. You're on your own with that one, bro. All right. So anybody else got any questions out there in the chat, or even the panel? If you guys wanted something you want to discuss or talk about, we're more than free. I figure we got another 5-6 minutes left on the show before we call it quits. So if you guys have anything you want to talk about or bring up or ask, shoot. All right. Well, check this out. So the future of this show, and I'm going to talk about it in the next 5 or 6 minutes before we get out of here. Future of this show. This show is going to be, as you can see, the panel is a little bit different. Definitely going to still have some of the old trichome chasers on the panel at times. But this show is going to be a little bit more, I'm going to shoot for a lot of different things with this show. Buffalo After Dark is going to be exactly that. There are going to be some shows that we have on Buffalo After Dark. Make sure your kids are put away to sleep, because we're going to talk some really not nasty stuff, but it's going to be some adult talk going on, different things. We're going to set up another thing we're going to do with Buffalo After Dark. We're going to set up here in the next week or two. We're going to have women growers. We're going to have an episode with women growers, whether they be breeders or whether they're growers. I think we do not give women growers enough support in this community. So we're going to definitely do a show with that. So if there's any women out there that please have them hit me up on my IG. Definitely. Also, you can shoot Canna a message, and she'll be able to take your information as well. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun with the show this year. We're gonna for the rest of this year, we're gonna do some different things. Some of it's gonna be structured, just like tonight, with different topics and different things like that. And then sometimes, man, we're just gonna shoot the shit. I know none of you guys have any problems with just shooting the shit. So there's going to be times we just do that. But we're definitely going to give out some great information, and definitely going to give out, and mind you, for those of you out there that are sticklers as far as who you get, remember this. The information that you get, I would say 30-40% of it is a preference. Is how we do, or how somebody on the panel does. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong. It's just their way that they have found success. So if there's some of you out there that disagree, that's fine to disagree. That's your right to disagree. But just understand that this is how this person was successful with doing it. So just keep that in mind when you guys be sending out your hate mails. I mean, I do read some of them. A lot of them I don't read, but I do read some. But yeah, look at the panel: 710 Canuck, Abolish Farms, Canada Mafia, Justin, the American One. There'll be some more from the Good Earth Grow community that will be on, and there are going to be some trichome chasers that'll be on. We're going to try to get guests. We'd really like to get. We're going to try. One thing that we weren't doing as trichome chasers when the channel was under trichome chasers, that we weren't getting. We weren't having a good round of enough guests on the show. We're definitely going to do that this way. We're definitely going to do that this round. We're going to try to get some more people on. Hopefully I can talk with Jinx and when he's feeling better, and get him on the show. Him and his wife, Miss Jill, would love to get her on our women's growing show. Would definitely love to get her on that. And there will be some people that you guys may be following like that I won't have on the show. So I'm just throwing it out there right now. Buffalo does not get along with everybody. I get along with about 99% of the people, but there's still 1% out there that I just don't get along with. So, but I'm willing to have them on the show just as long as they keep it cordial. Hey, we keep the show popping. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that heads up. This is not the trichome chasers going away. Trichome chasers are still here. This is just I'm just doing things differently now. So let's just put it that way. So shout out to the chat. With that being said, shout out to the chat, man. You guys have been great. You guys have been rocking. Really appreciate you guys. You guys have always been faithful, no matter what I've done this show under, whether it's been under my own personal channel or whether it's been underneath this. You guys have always been great. So I really appreciate you guys. And I want to say shout out to my panel. And you guys are awesome. You guys are really awesome, man. So really appreciate you guys helping me out.
Yeah, cheers, KB. Thanks for having us on, man.
Oh yeah, man. Anytime, man. So we're gonna do great things with this show. We're gonna do great things. Not that we haven't, because we have, but we're gonna continue that.
Yeah, it's been awesome being on here, man.
Yeah, you're doing a great show. Great work, KB.
Always a pleasure.
So with it being 1:30 my time,
Always
Go
good.
ahead, Justin.
YouTubers coming back, man. Everybody win.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And hey, if any of you guys out there in the chat, sub to these guys, follow them on IG. So if these guys got YouTube channels, I believe Canada was putting in links into the chat. Follow them, check them out. These guys are great people, man. They're great growers. They're great, they're great people. So follow them, support them, just like you would support, others. And lo and behold, look who just popped in.
Look at that. Boom Shiva.
My man.
Boom.
Yeah. Good legend. It is Vision.
What's up, Vision?
All right, I didn't know we were in a news
He's
chat. Hang on.
possibly late.
He didn't hear our Boom Shiva. Boom Shiva.
Boom,
Boom
Shiva.
Shiva.
Boom Shiva. Now we're about to get interesting. What's up, Vision, brother? How you doing, man?
I'm just going to get into fucking the headphones. Hang on a second. Where's that fucking button? There it is.
My man. So how you doing today, Vision?
Oh, you can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, excellent. Okay, headphones are now working. So what do we get? We just get handles? Oh, no, it's just... Okay, like 710's just got his fucking... Everybody's got their poster boy images up.
Cheers, Vision.
So how you been doing today, brother? How you been doing?
Oh, I put my back out yesterday, so I'm just absolutely fuckered at the moment. So I got tears coming out of my eyes, and I'm sitting in a chair, which is the most upright I've got in the last 2 days. So.
Oh shit.
Okay. I know. It's okay.
Healing vibes over there.
I know. I'll just smile. I got to your post this morning, Canna. Don't worry, but I've just been lying in bed all day, going, "Oh, woe is me, woe is me. I hurt so much."
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad you stopped through, man. I mean, that really makes the show even better now. I'm glad you were able to stop through it.
Whose show is this? Whose show is this at any rate?
This is it's just a couple different shows, really, but in all actuality, it'd be my show, sir.
Oh, lovely. Don't mind if I do.
Oh, you know what? Since you popped in and we were talking about Pheno, honey, so I gotta ask.
Yeah.
When you, sir, are looking for that strain, and what is your process in Pheno, honey? Shed some light on us.
Oh, okay. I've got a place where I can have it all tested. So that's the females, but that's still not the third eye. So you have to smoke every motherfucker in the room. And you know that. It could be the little runt at the back of the room that's all poor and sour. And you look at it and go, I can't kill it. I'm just going to keep it going because I love this plant. And then you smoke her at the end of the day and she blows everybody in the room out of the water because that's what you get. So rule number 1 is all females, you smoke every one of them in the room. Even if they look shit, you never cut anything down because the most miserable little runt will turn out occasionally to be the most amazing thing you've ever had in the entirety of your life.
See the smartest guy in the room right there. Right there.
Yeah. And then for the males, it's very simple. It's stem rubs, which is the most important thing. Stem rubs, I can get those tested as well, but stem rubs, really like a really good strong smell off a stem rub, usually equals to the testing I get done. Then I'm just looking for structure, healthiness, vigor, and vigor. I'm always looking for vigor all the time. Even though like sometimes they're the runts in the room, sometimes you'll keep that runt, but then you'll go with something more vigorous as well, and then blend that into the next go round. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that made sense.
Oh, for sure it does. For sure it does. So let me ask you this, and I meant to ask Gunnar, and I knew it was a question I forgot to answer. Okay, so I'm not going to say any names, but I've seen recent pictures of people that have a male. They pick their male, and it's their preference of this male, but their male is full of trichomes. Yeah. Some people say that that's a bad trait, that they say that males should not be full of trichomes. How do you feel about that?
Okay, if you really want to do the master art breeding, you spray your male with ethylene and convert her into a girl, like the way we like feminize shit. You can feminize shit back on a male, turn a male into a female, and then you smoke every motherfucker in the room, and then you take your pick.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question. My question was a male.
Yeah.
Some people choose certain males to breed because they say they like that male hat is frostier, just as frosty as the female. Some people feel that that's an omen because that opens that your male should not have female characteristics. Is that true? How you feel about that?
No, that's absolute bullshit. If you actually look into the little yellow bellflower plant of a male, and you look up and down the stamen, you will see trichromes in there.
Males have trichomes.
Males have trichromes, yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why I'm glad you came on the show, because now you can put that shit to rest, because I didn't know. I don't breed, so I don't know.
Okay.
So I've seen some really nice males that this guy's been posting, and they've been triked the fuck out. But then somebody was like, dude, that's setting up for failure. Your male shouldn't have trikes like that, and this, that, and the third. But you just debunked it.
Yeah, whoever said that is a fucking arsehole. But they're the same as the females. You know, all that glitters is not necessarily gold. So a male can have a lot of glitter on it, but it doesn't actually necessarily do anything to you.
That's right.
Same thing as a female. I've seen females which are so laden with fucking trichromes that I'm going like, oh, it's Christmas. We've got it. I found the Holy Grail. You smoke it. It does nothing to you. It's the same thing for a male. So it doesn't matter. It's all objective taste. Breeding is all objective taste and what you choose. And if some people want the shiny diamonds, yeah, you can have the shiny diamonds, and that's fine by me. But you know, I want to actually try everything. And God bless the advent of you know, our testing abilities now. You know, in the old days, it would cost me $400 a sample to have it fucking tested. You know, and I'd be wanting to test 400 samples. Then do the math on that. Like I couldn't afford that.
Yo, let me say that the only real way to test the male is to cross it with something, grow it out, and try that shit.
Yeah,
that's the only real way. And hey, when you're growing those trichromes, do you do strands with that, or you do strains?
I do.
I'm fucking with you, baby.
I know you're fucking with me. I've taken a lot of other shit tonight, and I'm going to drink some more red wine, and I'm going to smoke some more fucking weed. I fucking love you too, guys.
Man, it's awesome that you were on tonight, man. Man, that just, to me, in my opinion, brother, that just makes this show even better, bro. I'm so glad you showed up tonight, man. I really am, Vision.
Saturday.
Oh, so what do you got there? I'm about to present that to everybody. Hold on. What do you got there, Vision? What do you got there, brother?
That's it's not grown in my old warehouse pink Kush shatter. It was grown by somebody else without anything sprayed in it.
That's a big chunk.
Oh, speaking of sprays. Go ahead. I'm sorry, American. Go ahead, brother.
I was just saying that's a big chunk right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
I'm about to plow my way through the entire thing.
Okay, so since I got you on, I have to pick your brain since you're on the show now. All right, so shit, now I got so stoked I forgot what to ask you. Shit.
That's because you're stoned, dude.
Right. Shit. Oh my goodness.
Well, that's like taffy now.
Okay, so any projects coming down?
I am also stoned.
Projects coming down the line. Okay, I've got all those. I've got all my Africans up and running. I'm looking for African males at the moment. So I've got Tanzanian, Shashamane from Ethiopia, Swazi, all Landrace, and Malawi from Ace Seeds. So I'm looking through 4 Africans to find a male to put on to the Congo to try and make something called African Express. I've already got the name, but I know if I get 2 real high, because like the Congo doesn't like indicas. Every time I put an indica on the Congo for the last 8 years, she basically it devolved by half. Okay, like a good indica likes a good sativa on the top, but sometimes, because I'm calling the Congo a lesbian, no offense to the ladies in the room, but the Congo likes another African on the top of it. Some of them are like that. That's the way things go. But I've got to plow through the Africans and then work out which African is going to go with her the best, because I want something that's a little bit more electric and up to the next level. So we just take things up by small levels at a time. And that's what you do. But you do the work to get it there. And the work takes like a couple of years each time. I can't, I'm not a closet hack who's just banging shit together and bumping the seeds out there. I've got to test all that shit, go through it, and basically hand out all the seeds to you lot and go like, now test this shit and tell me is this worthy? Is this actually going to do anything? Because like I never take my own opinion. I always take all my friends' opinion. And now I've got I've got so many more friends now, thanks to Hangouts, that I can send little seeds and go like, well, this is my new one. This is just a straight F1. Do you think that this boy is going to go with this girl? And I want your opinion. And it's simple as that. And I take everybody else's opinion these days. You can't live in a closet either and be by yourself just with your own opinion. You'll never go anywhere. At the same time, you can't closet breed and be a closet hack and just shove shit together and hand it out there, because that doesn't work either. So life is a blend of all things, as we all know. Boom Shiva.
So what do you got to say? What's your opinion about? And I know I'm walking on thin ice here, but I'm asking anyways. What's your opinion about some of these breeders, and they're high-profile breeders? I'm not saying any names, but high-profile breeders that are just their idea of creating a strain and just throwing seeds out before they're fully tested.
Of course, that's 90% of the market, dude. They don't give a shit. They're selling you a seed. I can create 10,000 seeds of 1,000 watt of light, and those 10,000 seeds, if I market it well, I'm going to get $5 a seed. Most of the time, you get less than $50 a seed, but it's still way better than the cost of bud at the moment. So it's good business. So people put it out. But unless you can market those 10,000 seeds, you don't have a fucking chance. So you got to be a very good marketer or a very good breeder. It's one of the two, and most people do not fall into those brackets. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, that should make sense.
Love it when you preach vision.
Good, yes. Thanks, darling. Yes.
Yeah, because I see a lot of people. That's the reason why I stopped following the hype, man. Because I see a lot of people and then buying these seeds, and they're spending $200, $250, and then next thing you know, like 3-4 months after the seeds have been out and people have bought them and they've made all this money, then you find out people are starting having Hermy issues, non-popping issues. The beads don't germ. The shit, the weed is bunk. It's not, you know what I'm saying? And it all comes down to, and I even think I heard somebody say that they knew that they were putting seeds out untested, but they didn't give a shit because people was going to buy it because it was the hype. It was hype shit anyways. Yeah, that kind of shit bothers the hell out of me.
Oh, dude, it's been bothering the hell out of me for the last 20 years because I've bought a lot of that shit. Right. Because I'm a fucking idiot. But over the years, you realize, and you find your way through the system and realize that, I'm looking for specific people. When I brought, who did I go to for the Malawi? Okay, there's a lot of Malawi out there, but I went to Ace Seeds because I know Ace Seeds. I've been to Spain. I've met Doobie. And I know, and I've seen their gardens, and I know what the work they do is really fucking good. And they've taken that Malawi, open pollinated landrace down to 5 generations. And now they've got a really nice Malawi that's wickedly strong. It's a little bit strangely electric, not quite my style like the Congo is. But if I can blend the two together, then I'll get something really interesting. And then the other stuff, I have no idea. It's straight landrace from a guy in Nairobi in Kenya who's literally just picked the seeds off the street and sent them to me. But he assures me that, that's where their genetics come from in Kenya. Kenya is very tight with weed growing. And so people will grow it, but they'll grow it in sugar plantations and shit like that. But he said most of their weed comes from Tanzania to the south and Ethiopia to the northeast. And then he managed to get some Swazi that came up the line literally from South Africa, and he got those seeds as well. So like I have no idea where theirs going to go, and all I'm doing for those is an open pollination on each one for each breed. So I got 30 seeds of each of those 3. So I'm going to open pollinate each one and just make it like 1,000 or 2,000 seeds, then go through it. No, because I can't go through it on 30 seeds because I know there's going to be Hermes in there, and I won't be able to work its way out unless I have way more seeds.
Right. And that's a breeder putting in work though. It knows that it's a possibility of a Hermes situation, but is willing to put in the work to try to either find the one
it's
that's
undoubtedly going to be Herman.
Yeah. But the whole point is most of the time with Hermes, if you do the first generation you get, the next generation you get, if you're very careful in your selection, all the Hermes skip out. And you get males and females without any hermaphrodism. Hermaphrodism seems to skip into a generation, then out of a generation, then into a generation, then out of a generation.
Okay. I never knew that. That's some good information, man. I never knew that. So that brings up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But you only know that information when you've done it for fucking 20 years, because that's the only truth.
Right.
The time is the truth. As we all know, we all grow plants. And we start in the beginning, we plant our seed, and then like hopefully 6 months later or something like that, we get something out of it. But at least we've had the patience for that 6 months. When you step up from just being a grower into breeder, then you're talking about years of work where you've got your idea and you're taking it forth because you want to breed that thing because you like part A, part B, part C, part D from all these things, and you want to blend it into one so you have your ultimate thing, which then you can give your friends and go, now smoke my fucking weed because this is what I believe in. And that's a true breeder. It's not somebody who's just smacking them together and going, here's the seed.
We're going to punish the world with good weed, right?
Yeah. And it should be like people will like you. And our stuff isn't the strongest of all time, but it's more interesting than everybody else's. Because everybody else is doing the generic bullshit. It's like going to Walmart. You're just buying generic bullshit. If you went into the most expensive sausage store somewhere and bought the finest salami, that's what I'm talking about. I pay good money for that good salami, and people will pay good money for something that's different, but it's good, it's tasty, it's quality, it's grown well, and it's not as strong, but that's why I like sativas. A good sativa has no ceiling, so you just keep smoking. And then you're in there 3 hours into it and you're going, I'm so fucked out of my brains. And then you go like, and then you realize that, I'm actually going to be really fucked out of my brains for the next 3 to 6 hours as well. That's the difference. It's not the physical immediate strength. It's what it does to you over a period of time. And then plus the taste, the combo, the style of the high. Does it make you euphoric? Do you want to put the disco on, get the vacuum cleaner out? It's all those things. Those are the stars. And as in the coming forms of legalization, people are going to come and find people like me and go, that's my guy. I'll buy all his seeds, all his strains, because he does nice shit instead of just blah, generic Walmart shit. And that's the fucking truth. Boom Shiva. Did I just mute myself, or did you all mute yourselves?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Oh shit, I was muted. Yeah, I was muted.
What you got?
That's your first rant.
That was his first rant. Yeah. No, that's good though. I mean, he spoke real truth though. He spoke some real shit right there. That was good though. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people needed to hear that. I mean, they don't. One thing I know about Vision, he's going to tell it to you he's going to tell it to you the way it is. You know what I mean? And that's good stuff. That was very good information, especially for new people that are watching or they're going to watch this show. That's some really good information out there for them.
That's 30 years of knowledge.
Yeah,
coming out of that dude.
And that's all the Cali people. Sid sends me all these seed companies in Cali, and for me to look them all up, and they're still knocking out. Cali is becoming like the Dutch became. The Dutch became Skunk #1 crossed with Northern Lights 5, crossed with Haze, crossed with something else. And in the beginning, they just span that shit round. They span that shit round. And I see that sort of thing, you know, in Cali generically. Everybody's doing like offshoots of Gorilla Glue for Girl Scout cookies, every form of OG Kush you can fucking shake a feather at. But they're still playing with that stuff. Nobody's creating new shit. They're all playing with the old shit, trying to create something new. But you can't create something new with old shit. You've got to go out there into the world and find something new. Then you are allowed to inject it into the old shit because then you got new shit. Okay. But most of the time, all the people in Cali and up and down the West Coast, they're just mixing up all the strains they've had for the last like 10, 15 years.
Yep.
And there's no fucking different. It's getting generic. They're genericing. It's all getting generic. They're genericing it out. I think that genericing should be a good word. Yeah. They don't really care. They've just got like, oh, I've got my Ghost OG, my San Fernando Valley OG. I've got this OG, that OG. So I see OG in virtually everything. Yeah. And then you get the wild cards, you know, like Gorilla Glue #4, but I bet there's fucking OG in that. And like Girl Scout cookies, I'm sure there's like, they don't have any new genetics. There's no new DNA coming in. They're all spinning the same shit. And occasionally one of them wins the lottery. And like for a GG4 or a Girl Scout cookies, sometimes you win the lottery. And if you're a good marketeer, you can really spin that shit out. But it's
because that cookies was just 2 old strains that ended up being a special combo. That's
I know.
Yeah, that's it.
I've smoked Gorilla Glue #4, and I thought it was less than average. I smoked Girl Scout cookies, the platinum cut, the thin mint cut, every cut, and I thought it was fucking bland as fuck. And everybody's going, "No, dude, this is the greatest thing ever." I go, "No, it isn't." Okay, I've got this 30-year-old old schooler who's been growing his own weed for the last 30 years outdoors in BC. Now go and smoke his shit, and then you'll just go like, "What the fuck is this?" And
oh shit! Yeah, you're right. You're right, brother. You're absolutely right. Oh man.
And those are some of the truths about the breeding, you know. Because a lot of people, you know, I think 80% of the market is just money people who really realize that, you know, a seed costs money. People don't really give a shit. If you hype it up enough, they'll buy it. And by the time they finish with it, you'll have disappeared and then recreated a new company with a new seed. And I know people who do that all the time. They don't give a shit. They couldn't give a shit that, you know, you're buying some fucking bunk seeds, because the Dutch certainly didn't give a shit that you were buying their bunkweed for a long period of time.
Yeah, I heard the Dutch, I heard about the Dutch and the market of seeds and the market of the strains just went to crap, but they flooded the market so much with that shit that it was just, everybody had it. You know what I mean? It was just...
That's the only place we could get it in those days. Now that North America's come online, we're lucky. But then the West Coast is doing exactly the same. And anybody in North America is doing exactly the same. That they've taken from the Dutch model and realized that because the Dutch are all about the marketing. They don't really give a shit about the weed. They're about marketing. And so like if you get something, give it a creative name, bang it together, take some pretty pictures. And I know a lot of people who don't even take pictures of their own weed. They steal pictures off the web and say that's their fucking weed. And you just sit there going like, what the fuck is that?
Hey, that's a very good point, man.
See, like it's like when
Vision, hold on, Vision. What is your IG tag, Vision?
I don't have one. I don't do the social media shit.
Oh, you're not on IG? Okay, because people are asking. You're gonna build up your own following. You know, you keep doing this show with me, right? You're gonna have thousands and thousands of people wanting to follow you. I mean, because you're telling real shit, bro. So they're gonna want to follow you, man. There's one thing I can say about my followers, dude. They love honest, real people. They don't want the fake shit, and that's what you are. You're real shit.
I do have an IG, but I will never answer back, and I will never post. But I go and read it. But I go and read it every once in a while when I'm bored. And if people ask me questions, I'll answer them truthfully, and that's all I offer.
Right? Nah, that's all. A real person, that's all they could ask for is that you just answer it honestly.
Occasionally, if I'm happy, I'll show you some bud porn, but that'll be it. And it'll be like Instagram was supposed to be, which is here. Look at my photos. I don't need you to chat in the sidelines. I don't need accolades. I don't need you to diss me. You know, I couldn't give a shit. All I want to do is show you my beautiful thing. This is my work. This is my magic. This is my art form. It's like, look at my art form. This is my art form. And I'd love to give it to them because the art form with weed is smoking it. And that is the true art form. And if you can see, you know, a lot of people want to see the pretty pickies as well. And I like seeing the little pretty pickies as well. But for me, it's all about in the smoking. And sometimes the pictures do not look pretty, but the effect is 10 times stronger than the pretty pickies.
True that. You're right about that. You're right about it. So for a person, let's say a person was wanting to get away from the norm that's going on in the industry right now and wanted to branch out and actually find something that's not what everybody else is trying to hype or grow. How would a person do that?
Okay, you got two avenues. One, you got to either go there to some different fucking country, attempt to smoke their local weed and see if it's any good, because it'll be different, because it's not like your shit, because it's a different country. Okay, and that's a fact, and I do that. And plus, there are some like good landrace seed companies online, you know, and it's a matter of playing with landraces, because they're the original ones. They're like the great grandparents. They've been growing there for 1,000 years. And if you're lucky to find somebody whose family has been growing in Timbuktu, you know, for the last 200 or 300 years, and they actually like weed, so they've just been picking the seeds out of the nicest weed each year over 200 or 300 years, then you'll get something fucking interesting. And the effect of those is totally different than the effect of the shit we get here. And I shit you not, that is the fucking truth. Okay. So it's a matter of going out there into the world and trying to find, you know, all of those, the three ones I've got going at the moment, they came because I was given a connect from a guy who likes to smoke weed who lives in Nairobi, Kenya. So I email him up and I say, like, so, you know, and I tell him what I'm doing. And he goes, well, all I've got in my stock at the moment, I've saved this seed, and this seed. And those are the three ones. And he says, I can send you 30 of each. That'll fit in the envelope. And I said, fine. And I asked him how much he wanted. And he wanted $70 US for 30 seeds, which I thought was frankly outrageous because he's actually living in Kenya. And like that kind of money is a large amount of money. So I flipped the coin on him and I sent him $500 and just gave him the instructions to go out there into the world of Africa. And every time he liked some nice good weed, it always comes with seeds. Save me the seeds and send them to me. That is the way to do it. Okay.
Wow, that's some good shit right there, man. Yeah. Hell yeah. And you know what? He probably appreciated and respected you more for doing that. Yeah, now that's how you build a relationship with somebody. You know what I mean?
That is totally how you build a relationship with somebody. So now I've got somebody in East Africa. I've got somebody in West Africa who does the same thing for me. I've got a guy in Asia who smokes everything there is in Thailand, but he's so disappointed because he says it's all gone. There's no decent Thai left. You know, nobody was doing it and there was no family doing it. They were just doing it for weight and volume, and they didn't care. They just went for the biggest fucking dick out there type thing, and then it goes to shit. So and that's the only other problem. There are so few decent land races left out there that, you know, I had this love-hate relationship with greenhouse seeds. At least they went out there and they went into the fields because they had the money to do it, and they picked the seeds out. But to keep those land races, but I've never seen them actually offer the land races back into the community.
Yeah, you haven't. They don't. No, they don't offer. You'll see what they crossed it with, but you won't see them actually offer the original land race.
No, you won't. And nor will you ever see me give you a land race. You know, in the coming future, I'll do F1 crosses, but I'll try to do the best F1 crosses ever. And just go like, here you go. If you want to find the parents, excellent. Spend 5 generations. You'll be able to separate them out, and you can go and find them again. But it's going to take you 5 generations to do it. So if you've got the time, the land races are there for you.
See, now I wouldn't mind even if because I know you're going to go land race when you make your cross.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I mean, that's still 2 land races. You know what I'm saying? That's not something that's been hit 50 million times. That's 2 land races. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I'd be fine with that because I still have a land race. In my opinion, it's still somewhat of a land race. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think, okay, the last landrace breed I did, the best one I liked, because I had everyone tested. I found a guy who could actually test them all for cheaply by then. It came out at 7% THC, but I thought it was the best bud in the room. And everything else is way stronger, but it's not doing anything to me. It's the combination of all the terpenes, all the different cannabinoids in their own sequence that makes that beautiful art form that each individual person likes. It's the same as music. Everybody here likes a different form of music, probably. You know, and you get like, oh, that's the fucking best music ever. And then you listen to other stuff and go, oh, that's just bunk and I hate that shit. And it's the same thing with weed. You know, everybody has their own opinion about what good weed is. But if we're all just doing generic Walmart shit, nobody's ever going to learn that, you know, there are Versace's in life, or
they're not going to know what really good. They're not going to know what really good weed is if everybody's. No. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so I seen somebody post on IG the other day, and I knew you were the person to ask this question. Somebody posted on IG, and they even had, I don't know where they got the technical words and the definition from, but they posted that as well. But they were saying that the F1s are more stable than F2s. How do you feel about that?
That's totally true. So what you, oh no, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. If you're inbreeding a certain strain, so let's say you got a landrace and you keep breeding it, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, they're all identical because it's been growing out in the bush for the last 300 years. So it's just going to produce you the best plant, and they're all going to look generic and average, but it's still going to have that one set abilities inside it. It doesn't change, okay? So when you do your F1 and you're taking like one landrace and crossing it with another landrace, the F1 that comes off of that is the strongest plant. Okay, if you got 2 pure landraces, you're going to get some with really good hybrid vigor, where 1 + 1 = 3. So you're taking the best of both sides, and then nature multiplies it. And this is how we've got into this place where we're all stoners, because stoners over the years have found those ones and kept on multiplying them, and that's how we get to where we are now. And that's taken us millennia. That's taken us thousands of years as human beings to get to that place. I know it's accelerating, but like technology is accelerating, our weed production is accelerating because we've learned how to do it indoors. We're not going to wild stands and picking the shit out. We're trying to control it like we do as human beings to a certain degree. And so we're getting better at it. But better is I don't know, I should use the correct English for this.
It's not better.
It's not better. It's just a term. It's not necessarily better. But if you get 2 true land races together, you bang them together, you will see what hybrid vigor really is. And you'll see, if you really know your mother and you really know your father, and you know the things you want to select out of each side, you will then breed that, and then you will look for the hybrid vigor plus all the nice things from the female and all the nice things from the male. If you can find one of those, that's what you're looking for. That's your art form. But it never comes in the first time round. When you go down to F2, it opens it up to the grandparents of those strains. So it's still not too bad, because your grandparents are still your parents if you've come from landrace, because it's been the same style all the way through. But you get more variety. So as you go down, F2, F3, F4, you see very similar stuff, but there are varieties in there. And that's where the real art of, like, there will be some, you know, if you do F1 and you really like it, you'll definitely go F2, and you'll start to hunt through the F2 for that version of the F1, and you'll follow traits down that you like. But then the further you go down, the more numbers you have to do to get the chance of finding what you wanted to find in the first place.
Got you. I understand what you're saying now. I got you. Okay, so that's true then. So all those people that are knocking F1s are just idiots then.
Yeah, they're total fucking idiots.
Okay, I can deal with that.
And I know people who've done their F1s, and suddenly they come up to me and they go like, they find me somewhere online. They go, I want to breed now, but I love this F1, but it's like there's something more to it. And I go, well, then go F2. It's as simple as that, and that'll open it up like 10 to 50 times of more varietals.
Right.
And then once you get to F3, now you're dealing with 1,000 to another couple of thousand of varietals in there. So you get to hunt through them, but only if you do the numbers. You know, you've got to do the numbers to follow the traits that you like as a breeder down there. So if I'm going to sign up to something and I say, this is my shit, it means I've spent like 5 to 7 years following something down, doing insane amounts of fucking numbers inside, which you can do if you know how to do it. And then, or giving yourself the best chance at any rate, and following certain lines down, you know, and then in a couple of my breeds, I've got the lottery, you know, going into F5, and then about F5, it stabilizes itself. As long as you've kept on picking those things, it stabilizes itself out, and then that thing becomes its own true breeding strain. So then, once I give that seed to somebody, I go, this is going to be what I told you it was in the fucking advert. It's not bullshit. You can get it tested. They will all look relatively the same and give you relatively the same effect because I've just spent 5 years doing it. And that's the fucking truth. And how many other people do you know who are doing that shit?
You're the only one I know. Yeah. I mean, seriously, you're the only one I know. I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't, and I'm not saying that some other people that I've bought seeds before have done it. I'm just saying I don't know if they have. You're the only one that I know that has.
I know, but I'm sure there are old Cali families and West Coast families who've been growing the family weed for years and years and years and running it down those lines.
Ken Dog Smoke Seeds, that's one. I know he does it, what you just said. I do, and he's in Cali, but I know he does so he's one that I can think of. I want to say Jordan of the Island, he works his line like you just said. So maybe that's 2. So 3. I know 3 of them so far.
I wouldn't say Jordan.
You don't think Jordan? You don't think he does it that way?
No, he's the master. No, I can't. I won't diss him because he's Canadian. Okay, but if you look at his seed list, it's rather long and extensive. So if I was doing it, I'd have 2 or 3 lines, and they would be like F7, F8, F9.
Ah, I see what you're saying.
You understand? Okay. So yeah. But I don't want to diss him. Like I appreciate his taste. The Godbud made a great taste for fucking everybody.
Yo, he may have worked the Godbud because he's got Godbud 2.0 that he's working with now. He called it Godbud 2.0, so he may have worked it a little somehow.
Yeah, or just knocked it up and called it 2.0. Right, he's still a fucking marketeer, now, dude.
Vision, I want to go back to what you were talking about, heterosis, the F1 hybrid vigor.
Yeah.
Now, if they're 2 unique land races, they're going to be a percentage that has the legit F1 hybrid vigor, where you're right. The mother and father, the kid is twice the size and girth as the mother and father. In corn, that's what happens.
Yeah. If you want to see a true F1, you put the 2 land races together, and if all the offspring look fucking identical but have slight different traits of each parent, but they all look the same, that's a true F1. But if you put the 2 together and you see a really tall one, a short, squat, fat one, and multiple different things, those are not landrace parents. You know, they're coming from some other hybrid because there's some other thing back in there. But a true F1, they should literally nigh on be identical with slight variances inside them.
Okay.
Which is great. And that's what I want to sell you all, which is like, I want to sell you all the traits of a Malawi cross with all the traits of a Congo put together. And, I want all the electricity, like, holy shit, I just done a whole load of coke from the Malawi side, to I want to put the disco on and get the vacuum cleaner out for the Congo side. And then I want to see how that shit goes together.
Right.
Because then I'll be on coke, on disco, and vacuum cleaning the house. And I'm sure if I had a wife, she'd freaking be loving me.
There you go.
Boom Shiva.
Boom, right.
I'm gonna smoke some more weed as well. But I'm trying to fucking get over this back problem, which is just a bitch. Excuse me, no attendant. No horribleness to the ladies. Oh, that's a big enough lump. Okay. Is everybody on icons, or do you see my face and me talking? I don't know, because everybody seems to be on icons. Where's my pipe? There
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, we see your face.
Okay.
Please put up your icon, please. Put up,
There it is, right in front of you. Boom, Shiva. Oh, it's melty as fuck still. This is a year old. I can't believe I fucking forgot this in the back of the freezer for a year. Oh, that's good. It's still fucking good. Yeah. Apparently you can keep your fucking shatter in the freezer for a year. It may go a little, like, twice as dark as it was in the first place, but apparently it still works. So I'm giving that a round of applause. So whose show is this? Is this like Trichrome Shaker's show?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Trichrome's.
Okay.
It's KB. Kind Buffalo is his name, the host.
Oh, he's also KB?
Yeah, he's Kind Buffalo. Yep.
Okay. I know, but like it's us. It's our regular crew. And I'm going like, which hangout am I on? I don't understand. We're all inhabiting the same places as we usually do. God, we must be like a bunch of fucking trolls all hanging out in the cave together. Wow, this shit's good. I love that. It's like doing a dab, but I've got this like bed of sort of burnt greenery on the bottom, and I'm just keep putting large lumps of fucking shatter into it. And then using butane to curse it and all, and everybody's going like, oh my God, he's using butane. I think I have an IG. Yeah, check me. I should have a Vision Creator ID, or Vision Creator 420, I think it is. I think I have. I keep getting the occasional ping. I've got a follower. I think I've got 4 followers at the moment.
I might have tracked your ass down, Vision.
Yeah, you probably did. But I never go there. You know, Instagram's not. The social media shit is not my shit. You know? And it took me a long time. Like I quit Facebook 6 months ago because I found I was like, you know, I don't want to see what you're eating for lunch. I don't want to care what your local community shit is doing. I've just come here because I thought it was an easy way to talk to people, but now I'm just getting hit by like 5 billion adverts a day.
It is an easy way to talk to people. You just gotta filter those other idiots out. You'll be all right. But see, now I got a question for you. Okay, so damn it, Vision, I done forgot that quick. See, that's what happened when you get stoned, man.
That's what happened when you get stoned, man.
Yeah. Shit. And it was a good question too. Shit. Hold on, I'll think about it.
Breathing, growing.
It definitely had to do with. I think it definitely had to do with breeding.
Living life, driving speedboats.
That would be great. We definitely need to do that. Definitely need to do that. Let's see. What was it? I knew it had something to do with breeding. It was. I'll think of it here in a minute. But anyways, yeah, but I am really glad though that you came on the show, and I'm pretty sure the chat is glad too, because they've been blowing up ever since you started talking and answering questions, man. So it really, the information that you give is really appreciated, especially for some of the the people out in the chat.
There's chat. I don't know where the chat is.
Yeah, you can. It's on YouTube. It's
okay.
Yeah, I'm flipping back and forth, so definitely that.
I'll just hang out with you guys here because I know everybody here. They're all my friends. they're all friends and family, and I feel comfortable here. I don't do social things because I have to answer too many questions, and I've got too many questions myself that I can't answer. So I'm more interested in answering my own questions first.
Okay, so your style of growth, are you organic?
Absolutely. Depends. who's paying the money, basically. If it's for myself, no, I still do. I do my own method, but I don't spray when it's for myself. If I was working for somebody and working in their warehouse, we would spray heinous toxic chemicals because
Okay, so speaking of spraying, I refuse to use the toxic chemicals. I have some people that I deal with, and they're called mites and mildew, and their spray is all organic, and I love their spray. I can use it as a soil drench. I can use it as a foliar spray, and it works great for mildew. It works great for pests, and it's all organic. And I refuse to use any chemical spray on any of my stuff.
I'm sure you do, but when you're running 400 lights in a fucking warehouse and you start to get powdery mildew, there's nothing. They were spraying it with apple cider vinegar, potassium bicarbonate, this, that, and the other. But they would be spraying every day. But in a 400 light warehouse with 4,000 plants, that's a lot of fucking work, and
so
the labor is very expensive.
What do they use? And I mean, do they try to find the safest chemicals used, or
no? They go for the full Monty, hammer to the back of the head. It's fluoramite, Fujimite, Avid,
fluoramite is deadly, dude.
Yeah, I know. Like, don't like. And there's forbid 4F. So those are the 4 for the mites.
Saying this on recorded television.
Yeah, I know, but it's okay. But I don't work there anymore.
Right? It's not. You don't work there no more. So
I don't fucking work there no more.
Yeah, because that shit. Once it get in, because we did a show in the Trichomes Chasers. We did a show. And we were talking about systemic and things like that. Does that stuff become systemic after? I mean, spraying that shit.
Yeah, dude. Like I know the calculations on every single one, and the minimum one is 110 days after you sprayed it. Okay. Does it actually work its way out of the prod? And that's the smallest one. Okay. The rest of them last way longer. Okay.
So you're still smoking that shit?
No, I don't smoke that shit.
No, not you. But I'm just saying, if they spray and they're selling it, people are
yeah. People out there are buying it. They're not telling them what it is. And I bet a lot of fucking guys who go, it's all black market shit, dude. Because you can't go into the open market with because they'll find the residues and they'll go like, you fucked with this, you can't sell this shit, it's worthless. So you can't do that down south in America, but you can sure as hell do it in BC, because I know that every fucking warehouse on the coast sprays everything they've got with everything, and then they use Nova for anti-mildew. It lasts 7 weeks, so they hit it once in veg, then they hit it at the end of week 5 in flower, and that keeps the mildew off.
I'd like to let you guys know that this stuff is illegal in Canada, so don't tell anybody.
Yeah, whatever. I don't fucking care. I've been doing this shit for a long time. If I gave a shit, I'd be living in Tahiti now.
Oh man, yeah, that's good stuff, man.
But that's what big money does. Big money doesn't give a shit. Do you want somebody in there spraying every room every day with organic shit, or do you want one guy to go in there every 5 weeks with a fucking full-on nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare kit on and hose that shit down once? And so, what do you think the money's going to do? It's as simple as that.
True.
Yeah. I'm so glad I got fired from that place, because I would have sacked myself probably a couple of weeks later. So, but I don't go in and spray them. I was in charge. I had minions for that, which I really apologize to those guys. But I gave them the best safety equipment ever. They had full respirator masks, full body suits, everything. They were taped up to the fucking nines. So I did my best in that thing. But I know people in other warehouses, they expect them to go and spray that shit without any protection on at all. So that's how evil this business got.
Shit, now you make me feel like I'm back in a foundry. I got to wear all that.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking horrible, dude. Anyway, so we're not working there anymore, and I'm breeding again, and I've got a new backer who's interested in the breeding side and the clones and the seed side, because that's where the fucking money is. Boom Shiva.
I've always said that that's where the money is at with the clones, man. I've been saying that for a minute.
36 million people coming online. That's individual humans, but I think they do it per household here. So let's divide that by 4. So
that's 9.
Okay, so that's 9. Okay, and they're allowed 4 plants at any one time. So you can probably get away with like 2 months veg, 2 months flower, 1 bulb in the middle, nice and simple. You get £1, you get £3 a year. That's great. But you can't afford for one of those plants to be a mother, because then you just lost 25% of your harvest. So, but you'll still go and pay like $20 a clone to get your clones in, because it's way cheaper than keeping a mother. Okay, so and it's all about the gold rush. We're all going back to the gold rush here, because it's a green rush now. The guys who made the money were the guys who sold the picks and shovels. And the picks and shovels of the weed world are the clones and the seeds. And they just want to come back and again and again. And eventually they're going to start looking around and going, oh, I'm going to try that stuff now. I'm going to try that stuff now. It's going to be fucking ice cream land. Same as it has been for you guys down south. But most Canadians don't know there's a choice. It's all crappy BC bud sprayed with toxic chemicals. And now we're going to get a chance to offer them the fucking Rolls-Royce end of the market. And that is what I'm really looking forward to, go sidling up to people and go, have you ever smoked a sativa before?
Hey, Vision.
Yep.
Could you give us a word on your feelings on Pink Kush?
Oh... Yo, that's a nice try. Okay, that's yeah. It's a really strong fucking indicator. It's 28% THC. It fucking kicks like a mule. Okay, but it's the most awful thing to grow. I would never swear like on my worst enemy, like making him grow this shit. It grows in the weirdest fucking patterns possible. No plant is ever remotely the fucking same. They all look different. It takes 10 weeks. If you don't do it immaculately, you won't get any weight at all. Like nothing. It'll be a complete bust. If you know what you're doing, you can get a fucking decent weight on it and make it frosty. And if you've got like really good rooms and you can dial the temperatures down at the end and really get it to frost and purple, then it looks amazing, and it's 28% THC. And if you got it that way, the buyers love it, and we're still getting a decent fucking market for it up here. And I don't care what they're listening to, because we're going legal in 3 weeks, and they can go fuck themselves. Boom Shiva.
Boom
Well,
Shiva.
That's 2 rants. I got 2 rants in tonight. I got another 2 in me probably.
All right, let's see if we can get you another one.
It's just you guys winding me up going, no, that's bullshit. They're lying to you, because I love it when I can tell everybody else, no, they're lying to you. That's marketing. They're just trying to take your money. That's bullshit. But unless you offer them the out, nobody's ever going to believe you, because everybody's just believing the in. I love to sit there and go, that's bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And I've had a couple of youngsters coming like, but why is it bullshit? And I go, well, okay, then I have to tell them how it should be done. So you go like, okay, do it this way, and this way. And then they come back and go like, you were totally right. I go like, excellent. So I do have some experience. And I taught nothing less is the older you get, the more knowledge you have to push back down into to everybody else. Just go like, hi everybody, I know how to grow weed. My name's Robbie. I'm going to teach you to grow weed in the best way I possibly can. And please don't spray your plants. Boom Shiva. I don't know. The business has been weird. Like I loved it in the beginning. I loved the black in the beginning, because we were ducking and diving, dodging and weaving. They were looking for us, But I was lucky, That's why I came to Vancouver. Like I came here to my Canadian girlfriend. This is a good story for you. How I came to Canada. I had a Canadian girlfriend in London, and her visa ran out, and she had to come back. And she was great girl, and. But she also happened to know a lot of growers. So when I came back, I got to see 20 grows in 14 days. Small ones, like 1, 2, 3s, and 4s, to the most. But and I said, well, what happens? If the police come, they go like, oh, they slap you on the back of the wrist and tell you not to do it again. I went, fuck me, I just died and went to heaven. And that's how I got to Canada.
Yeah, they pretty much will bust you. They just take your money and your weed and send you on your way, don't they? Now.
Yeah, that's what they did in the old days. They didn't give a damn. That it wasn't in their interest. It was like it was too much fucking paperwork. It's the Vancouver Police Department. They were lazy as fuck. And even if you had a problem with it, when you went to court, I'm sure there would only be half the amount of weed there than there was in the first place. I once had them drive away from my backyard with 3 pickup trucks worth of weed. And when I went to the cop shop the next day and said I want the incident number, they said, "What incident number? The police were never at your house yesterday." So there's so many different things in this thing, but I'm glad we're going legal because I'm really interested. They're so not ready for it growing legal in Canada. They have no idea what's about to happen. It's going to be fucking crazy. The LPs think they're prepared, but like, no, it's just going to be fucking brutal. A lot of people are going to lose their shirts, which is going to be really fun. Because they look at it as money. We all look at it as because it's a plant and we like our plant, and that's what we fucking well love. And everybody else goes, no, that's money. Like, no. It's only money once you've grown it. You've got to grow it first, and then the money comes. But they all just go like, but we want money. I go, yeah, okay. Obviously, you fail to understand the idea of this system. And I still laugh at it all because they're all stupid. Boom Shiva. Oh, I got 3 rants in now. Okay. I'm going to smoke another one of these as well. Oh, that's a big one.
Well, Vision, man, it was great that you came on, man. It is 2:29. We have been rocking strong since about 11:45.
Okay, dude. Everybody knows where to get me. So if you want me to attend at any time, come and tap on my shoulder. But you'll understand I will rant.
Nah, that's perfectly fine, man. Perfectly fine. Damn sure glad you came on, though, man. Damn sure glad you came on. And I'm glad that everybody else on the panel, the American one, Justin, Abolish Farm 710, Canada Mafia. I'm glad you guys were here too tonight, as usual, like you were last week, holding it down with your boy on this live stream. I think we had a pretty good show tonight. We got some pretty good information out there. Venom came in and gave us some really good knowledge, which was great. The chat has been popping off. We still got 50 strong watching on YouTube, which is awesome. Mr. Sparks a lot. Thanks for showing up tonight, Jack Lee, you too. Man, you guys were great. We appreciate you guys holding it down.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Sparks. For sure.
Yeah, we're going to have to get Mr. Sparks a lot on the show next time, man. We'll get him up here.
No doubt. Yep.
Ganja Bonsai. Yeah, bro, we'll see you in the chat. Yeah. Tara Lee. Hey, sweetheart. How you doing, Tara? I haven't talked to Tara in I don't know how long. It's been a minute since I talked to Tara. Catman. Catman's still here? That's right. What's up, Catman? Glad to see you in the chat. Plant Builder, thanks for showing up. Hey, you know what? Plant Builder, he can get under your skin. That's no question about it. But I want to tell you something about Plant Builder. That man has been supporting this show for I don't know how long, man. I really appreciate you, Plant Builder. Thanks a lot, man, for sticking around with us. And everybody else that's been on here, man, that's been following us. It's been great.
Tell Plant Builder I'll see him Thursday. We're coming up.
Yeah, he heard. Hopefully he heard you. Yo, Plant Builder, you heard him. Vision said he'll see you Thursday. They're coming up. Hell yeah, Plant Builder. Don't forget, man. We still got to fight in that Burger King parking lot, bro. I ain't forgot about that. I ain't forgot about that. But
I don't know,
yeah, man. No, it's been great, man. Hey, but like I said, for those who just came in and didn't hear me in the beginning, or if you did hear me, keep your notification on this channel. This channel will have a new name next week. It will be Buffalo After Dark, and we appreciate it. You guys have been great. We're gonna have some great topics. We're gonna have some great smoke sessions. We're gonna have some great guests on the show. I got my team's gonna be putting it down for me, man. I really appreciate it. So once again, man, thanks for coming out tonight. Our topic was pheno hunting. We got off to some other good topics, which was great. The American one, he gave us his knowledge on what he does, which was great. 710, Justin, everybody did. You know, you guys, like I said, I can't say it enough that I appreciate you guys. So next week we will be. I don't like giving dates because my work schedule is hectic, but it will be Sunday or Monday as usual. We'll be back on.
All
Boom
right.
Shiva.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for having us, KD.
Thanks for having
Good
us
work,
all.
boss.
Oh, no problem, man. Anytime, man. Giant Sky, what's good with you, man? Glad you're here too, man.
Every time I talk to all you guys, man, I learn a ton of shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Learn something.
Oh, yeah.
It's always good.
Hopefully I
Oh,
contribute
my
a
big
little
homie Sid Avery. I can't forget about my big homie Sid Avery holding down the chat.
bit, man. He's got to come on and talk too.
Yeah, we got to get him on one day. Condo Grower, what's good, brother? Condo Grower, man. That guy, he's a cool cat. I like Condo Grower. He's a really cool cat, man.
Condo's badass.
Yeah. So,
Another Canadian homie.
yeah. So, yeah, but we're going to wind the show down. We're going to say goodbye to everybody. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes open. Buffalo After Dark, a Trichome Chaser production.
There you go. Peace out.
Boom Shiva.
Boom Shiva. Everybody have a good evening, man. We appreciate you guys coming through.
We
We're
fucking
going to
love
end the
you.
show.
We fucking
Vision,
love
stay where you're at, Vision. Don't go nowhere.
you. Okay.